Y'all worrying about money too much. Why is y'all worrying about what's in my pocket?
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I don't want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for pay-per-view.
My job, I know my job, I know my situation. I want to fight. That's my production. But it's gonna be very difficult for both of us.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another flagship edition. It's Crow Day, so if you didn't get your pick right, be prepared to be served up a very helping serve of Crow. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. We're back with another one. It's Sunday. We're going to be talking this weekend's fights, results, all news and notes floating in the, boxing world. So let's just hurry up and get into it. Obviously, Oleksandr Usyk KO Tony Bellew, and all the talk has begun as to what sort of career he will have at heavyweight. How good will he perform? And basically match up against the rest of the heavyweight division, or should he stay down there? Maybe Andre Ward comes out of retirement. Maybe an Anthony Joshua fight is what's been looming and what Eddie Hearn has been talking. Or will he go the WBC route since he is the unified champion at cruiserweight, which holds the WBC? Our second button topic, obvious, Briedis and his results. Krzysztof Glowacki also earns a win. We'll give you his results and details. Topic number 3, Eddie Hearn says that the light heavyweight division will soon be joining Dazn, as well as several heavyweights. They expect to announce 2 or 3 new signings in the next couple of weeks. So today we'll be playing the guessing game. What heavyweights could they be signing, and which light heavyweights will be making their new home over at Dazn, the home of Canelo? And then topic number 4, we'll be talking Errol Spence Jr. and his new statement in the media that he'd entertain a Jarrett Hurd fight. Jarrett Hurd being the unified 154-pound title champion. I don't know. I guess he's not a title holder anymore. He actually unified. So I guess the 154-pound unified champ, Jarrett Hurd, making his return December 1st. And Errol Spence willing to take a crack at him. But he definitely believes that Charlo will unify the division. We have other topics to discuss, like the Contender and Brandon Adams' electric performance throughout the season. But just tons of stuff to talk about. Let me get on out to my co-host and get this thing started.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. I've been doing this. I ain't been up and fell off. I've been through the Lennox Lewis era, the Nassim Hamed era, the Shane Mosley era, the Oscar De La Hoya era, Mark Anthony era. I've been through all the eras, and I still been telling.
How much you talk? You do too much talk. The thing is this:
People want their subjective preference to be the objective reality.
HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Of course, we have the big cruiserweight champion who's entertaining maybe the idea of going to heavyweight. We've seen this many times. Vander Holyfield, David Haye, even Michael Spinks from like the light heavyweight moved up to challenge the man at the time. We had some controversy. Briedis didn't look great. Many people screaming robbery, maybe a gifted win, as well as other recap in World Boxing Super Series. In addition to that, just a quick recap on the Rooster and Jesus Soto Carras, which became the most punches thrown and the most punches landed, which was a big upset with the veteran fighter Carras winning that fight on Thursday on Golden Boy's last fight on ESPN. In addition to that, contender reviews, contender spoilers, contender winners, as well. Maybe a potential showdown with Juan Manuel Lopez and Gamboa, possibly in March, but we'll get a little bit more into it. We'll pass it to Rob.
And the main thing we cannot forget is I am the unified heavyweight champion of the world.
Dylan White, Derek Chisora, Big Baby Miller, Joe Joyce. You can all have it, Dominic Brazil, whoever else is in America too. All of it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Another edition of the Boxing Voice. Smash that thumbs up if you think I was an idiot for picking Tony Bellew. Brutal knockout of my man there, but you know, brave effort. But I guess skills pay the bills. Unfortunately, didn't get round to seeing Briedis, but I believe he got given a gift of a decision. You know, I've been in IKEA flat pack hell for most of the day, so I just didn't get round to watching the other card. But yeah, there's some topics out there to chat about. So yeah, let's get into it. Mike's asleep, so let's go.
Well, let's get right into it. I mean, the most meaningful fight of the weekend, of the night on Saturday, it actually was a breath of fresh air, I'm telling you. I know that this was a UK-based fight, and I mean, it was held in the UK, and obviously Eddie Hearn and Matchroom UK held this one, but it was the perfect time for us East Coasters. I mean, it came on around 6, maybe 6:15, the latest, and felt good to get in and out with such a great performance. You know, I was able to obviously watch it live, do a live fight chat, an immediate reaction, and it was pretty much over for me after that. And now I got the pick right. A little bit bittersweet as I started to dabble in a little bit of sports betting. So I panicked. Rightfully so, though, because I had chose Usyk by unanimous decision, and I didn't think he was going to get that decision, and I guess I was right. You know, some callers mentioned Usyk changing the game plan, kind of letting Bellew shoot his load to then come on in the later rounds, which is where I thought maybe Bellew would fatigue or fade because of the weight drain, right? The 30-pound weight pounds that he had to lose to get this fight. But Usyk still got the win. I was a bit nervous, though. I don't know about you guys. You know, I don't have to be long-winded. We could definitely go back and forth. I was a bit nervous. I was very, very impressed with Bellew's performance, and it's probably the best thing that could have happened for a guy like me is to watch Bellew go out on his shield. It's not very much I can say. You know, I think at the time of the stoppage, maybe Bellew was up a round. You know, he should have been up at least a round or two on everyone's card at the time of the stoppage. So it's like, it's not much you can say unless you're going to buy into the notion that Usyk was throwing caution to the wind, banking on a knockout, which is not what his resume indicates. Most of his high-level fights have ended in decision. But definitely impressed with the performance and grateful for it, right? I mean, there was nothing else on this level out there for this entire weekend.
I thought the fight itself was very fun, entertaining. Tony Bellew, quote unquote, is Rocky, like essentially. Every time you watch him fight, he does things you don't really expect, regardless of the outcome or controversy that comes about certain fights. But if you really just break down Tony Bellew's career and like if you made a movie, just think about the movie at the end. He comes in, he fights this guy, no one expects it, and he does well. He performs, he gets these rounds, and then reality hits. He wasn't able to get it. He gets knocked out, but then he's still, you know, this guy who overcome all these adversity and gave Usyk one of his toughest fights when you look at his professional career. I mean, granted, it didn't go the distance like Briedis or some of the other fights, but there was adversity there. And regardless if it was Usyk becoming the clever fighter, overcoming adversity, or maybe Tony Bellew really showed up. He came up. Some fighters perform at their the toughest fights, and you know, right now, I'm curious what Usyk's going to do after this, but I'm very satisfied with Tony Bellew attempting, performing well, getting some score points, you know, and this is going to be some sort of question: is Usyk really that great? So,
I mean, you know, I kind of bought into it, you know, the underdog, you know, he sort of performs and upsets the odds and that. But I mean, to see him come out and box, I know a lot of people are, you know, Usyk kind of let him, you know, he was, you know, figuring him out, sussing it all out. But I thought Bellew, I mean, there's an argument he was maybe 4-0 up or 3-1. And I thought he's boxing well. And I guess it shocked a lot of people. But for me, the reason I was hoping and leaning towards Bellew for the upset was because I thought he was going to come out and like really put it on him early and really go for it. But maybe that was a risk he wasn't maybe willing to take, because you blow your load that early, swinging and going for the big knockout. He's in the same position he was anyway boxing. But I just feel that he was going to do what Gassiev didn't do, like really throw caution to the wind and that. But listening to post-fight interviews with him and other people, Bellew was saying, I landed a good one on him, but to land a second one on him, you can't. He's gone. You land one, you think you can follow up with another good shot, and he's just not there to hit. And he held his hands up. He's a better guy. He's a great champion. He's this, that, and the other. And there's like Adam Booth saying just the pressure, not just physical pressure, but the mental pressure and the like how draining that can be as well for a fighter. It just eventually Bellew's steam was gone. I think like a stiff jab almost stopped him in his tracks. And then that 1-2 went in and, it was game over. Bellew can't even remember. He said, I didn't even realize I was out on the floor. He thought he was stopped on his feet. But, impressive performance. Usyk's gone and done it in every opponent's backyard. I think we could probably say 2018 Fighter of the Year and that. But I personally think he's now going to heavyweight because I don't think what else is there at cruiser. I don't think there's another challenge at cruiserweight or a challenger at cruiserweight. There's a lot of young guys in the World Boxing Super Series, and the Tabitis, the Acolis. Obviously, they're not ready for an Usyk at all, and that's no money in it. There's no value in it for Usyk to stick around at cruiserweight, I don't feel. So I see they're vacating these titles and going on to the heavyweight division. So
yeah, I mean, seeing the only logical fight below heavyweight for him to kind of get the credit, the money, the attention, and a challenge would be if Andre Ward would happen to come out of retirement and maybe move up in weight if he entertains that idea. That's the only fight I would say be worth it for Usyk for his career and money-wise. For anyone below his weight class would be Andre Ward.
In his weight class, you're absolutely right. There's no one below Andre Ward if he comes out of retirement. And Adonis Stevenson is there. He's got a claim to say, look, I beat Bellew in better fashion, maybe a decade before you, using the Bellew win as the reason why you're done at cruiserweight. I don't know, maybe Adonis can entice Oleksandr back into that division. Not necessarily what I would want. I think that my top three are the title, Joshua, Wilder, Ward. I don't see anyone not named those guys being a challenge for Usyk. Technically, I guess I could throw Big Baby in there, especially since he's going to re-up with Dazn. Big Baby will get a new maybe 3-fight contract. Usyk has another 2 fights left on his contract. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the new question, right? We've reviewed the fight. We've said how good the fighter has looked. Now it's pretty much what's next. DAZN likes to keep their fighters happy. And there's so many options, so many possibilities, at least to bounce around. So I guess, Rob, where do you see Usyk going? His first, 1 to 3 options.
I don't see I don't see it being Joshua straight up. I think he's going to get, I don't know, maybe someone like on the level of a Chisora or something like that, just to see. I don't think you go straight into a Joshua fight. And just dialing back quickly onto Adonis Stevenson, before the fight, he was saying, if Bellew wins, I'll come up to cruiserweight and fight Bellew. There was no, I'll face the winner. So I don't think Usyk and Adonis Stevenson is an option. He was happy to fight Bellew again at cruiserweight, but he didn't say I'll take the winner of this fight. So, but yeah, Usyk at heavyweight. I mean, you know, it's just that power. You know, is that's the one thing. The difference, you know, is a Bellew or Gassiev at cruiserweight. You know, what is the marked difference in power when you go up to heavyweight? You know, like a Dillian White. I know Usyk's going to be moving around a hell of a lot better than a Dillian White, but can he, you know, deal with, you know, proper heavy hitters? You know, the Joshuas, the Wilders, you know, the Ortiz, the guys like that. So I don't know, but I think he'll test the waters before he gets like the Joshua fight. But I do think it's in Eddie Hearn's plans at some point. He was mentioning in post-fight, you know, back end of 2019, things like that. So, you know, Eddie always floats these names, and you know, he's said Miller would be Joshua's American debut, and this, that, and, you know, it all stuff comes out of the mouth. I know it changes fight to fight, but
all sorts of bullshit, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think people will throw a question out and you say, oh, yeah, you know, that's definitely a fight we could maybe look at, maybe the back end. You know, I think sometimes it's just filler for interviews. I don't know, but I do think Usyk's going to have to test the waters before facing, you know, one of the big guys. And as for you saying, does he take the WBC route with him being signed to Eddie Hearn and Dazn or co-promoted or whatever, but on Dazn, we know Wilder's feelings towards Dazn, so I don't know whether that fight will get made. So I can see him just going the Joshua route, as it's also
not really, bro, not really. You know, if Eddie, you know, wanted to really shake things up, make things interesting, depending what sort of leeway, permission, liberty, access he's given to that $1 billion, well, what you do is you do go to WBC route, Ron or Mike, right? Like, why push your undisputed champion to face your unified champion when you can, you know, simply create another brand? You make Oleksandr, I guess,
become another
put into action. Yeah, well, no, not another roadblock, but you can put him into action and force his mandatory status at cruiserweight. He could lobby that cruiserweight WBC title and undisputed, I guess, ranking, title, name, and you know, lobby a WBC heavyweight title shot. Now, I know that the intelligent fighter would go towards Joshua because the money is bigger. It's just obvious. There's more money that way. But if you're Eddie, you force a purse bid. You force HBO to either, Showtime to either come out of their pocket to pay for their champion's defense or force their champion to defend on DAZN by winning the purse bid. It's simple as that. So you make Oleksandr, put in a motion to WBC, say, look, I want to challenge the WBC heavyweight. People already think he's more skilled than Wilder, think he would outbox Wilder. Go ahead, send him to get that belt. If he's successful now, it's an all-out European, UK hometown fight for Joshua. Oleksandr went and got the WBC. Joshua has all the other pieces of the puzzle. They mix that in the UK, and it's a fucking Wembley fight, right, Rob? Or whoever.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, thinking then, like, you know, Dillian White's built himself to #1 in the WBC, whether Eddie would go that route. But obviously, it's looking like it's White's getting his shot anyway at a title.
I think White, yeah, White's going to April 14th, 13th route. So that, again, it leaves it a path straight open.
Yeah, but in that respect as well, he's also worked himself that he's maybe getting 2 bites at the cherry. If he loses to Joshua, does he drop in the WBC rank? I'm not sure how that will work out, but he's got that #1 spot with the WBC as well. I don't know.
Yeah, Rob, but you know that would like he's automatically gonna drop. Like once Joshua knocks him out, he drops in the ranking. Plus, once he gets knocked out, he'll be suspended for 90 days. He won't be able to fight Wilder.
And I believe there's a ruling, I can't remember, if once you compete for another belt, you tend to get dropped down or something like that. So you can compete in multiple. Once you compete, obviously become the champion, you obviously, drop out. But
yeah, I didn't quite know how it worked, but I was just sort of thinking he's possibly got 2 bites of the cherry. But yeah, I don't know. He's obviously, like I say, White's got the looking like getting the April date, so maybe Usyk can go that WBC route. But
I think it's a great idea. There is a rich history between British boxing and Ukrainian fighters. I mean, you got the Klitschko's. One fought Lennox Lewis, had a great fight. The other one fought Joshua, had a tremendous fight. So I think that there is, a great boxing rivalry between those 2 countries that perform great fights, and I would entertain it. I think that would be very entertaining, very fun, and high level. And this is an opportunity for Usyk to maybe gradually go up, build his name in the heavyweight division, see how he does in there, and maybe he can compete, because it's been done more than once. Even smaller guys came up, so I wouldn't be surprised, but I want to see it.
Listen, lesser men have competed at heavyweight, moving up from cruiserweight, and have had more success. Less accomplished men, maybe guys like Roy Jones were more flashy and things like that. He went up to heavyweight, but he skipped cruiserweight. But David Haye went up to heavyweight. Evander Holyfield went up to heavyweight. Cunningham went up to heavyweight. Plenty of cruiserweights that were unified, multiple belt holders at cruiserweight have gone up to heavyweight and been successful. Again, realistic options here, guys. He signed to Eddie. Remember, he's got 2 more fights on his DAZN deal, and there's nothing left at cruiserweight. What's he doing in April? First quarter, he's fighting guys. So where's he going? He's obviously not fighting Joshua. The performance versus Bellew wasn't enough to make everyone say, no, Joshua's got to fight him and not Dillian Whyte. I wouldn't mind Joshua going this route rather than the, recycled Dillian Whyte route. But, I mean, if I'm Eddie, I would be laughed at if I made Alexander, go the WBC route. I think people will say, he's serving him up. Obviously, those people that feel Wilder can be outboxed will think that Oleksandr will have a easy time. The Ward fight is probably a fight that I don't know if it can happen. I don't know if Ward is going to come out of retirement, negotiate a fight, and go straight into it without his Sergey Kovalev route. By what was that? Alexander Brand, Sullivan Barrera, then Sergey Kovalev, kind of acclimating himself back into the boxing world. So I don't know if Ward is a realistic option.
Again, I think Ward said as this fight was coming closer that he sort of suggested that he may, I think he told Bellew, go and beat Oleksandr Usyk and we'll have the fight. But I don't think he said, I'll face the winner of this fight. Everyone wanted that UK Tony Bellew man. So
yeah, and I agree. It probably is the money thing, because Ward was talking about in an interview that he didn't really know Usyk, and he kind of felt that Usyk was kind of like a fighter that a lot of people were just jumping on the wave. So his fight prediction, he went with Bellew because of experience. But maybe looking into the fight, maybe he'll be interested, maybe not. He's always idolized Roy Jones. He always talked about how he loved how Roy Jones moved up multiple weight class and then got a heavyweight title. A lot of people out here in the Bay Area have spoken about maybe Ward potentially might entertain the comeback. That's inside his camps. Like, I know Ward, he might come back. So it's interesting. He's in a great position. He's still truly young, and many fighters have retired, but you've seen him always come back for one more.
I mean, he's right on cue for a Mayweather return, Mike. You've been awfully quiet. Are you okay today?
Yeah, just I was just waiting for a chance to like hop in real quick because y'all brought up a whole Usyk fight. There is a heavyweight that signed to, well, not signed to the zone, but signed to Golden Boy that like just recently had a announcement.
I know you ain't talking about James the Beast Williams, and why the fuck would Golden Boy just sign a prospect heavyweight and say, "Hey, Eddie Hearn, you can have him."
You give James the Beast a couple of fights this year and maybe early next year, then you give him Usyk. I mean, that's
so James the Beast is such a popular guy that Usyk's gonna wait around for him to get a couple of fights to build the name up.
Not fighting until like early.
That Mike's talking about.
When we said Usyk's not fighting until like the first quarter of this year. We've seen Eddie in the zone give fighters quick turnarounds. Tevin Foreman got like 4 fights like within like 3 months, so it's totally possible.
4 fights within 3 months. That was a lie.
What 3 fights within 3 months? Some nice number like that. I think it's 3 within 4 months.
Listen, bro, it's November. His shows for November are penciled in. Damn near all his shows for December are penciled in. And the first quarter means January through April. But I'll give you a realistic fight. I think it's Alexander Povetkin.
I was going to say, I can see Usyk Povetkin on the AJ undercard.
I think it's Alexander Povetkin. I have no knowledge. I didn't text Eddie or anything like that. I just think it's the obvious choice. Dillian Whyte is the ace in the hole. If they can put together, because I'm telling you, December 1st, whether Wilder Fury do well or not, the winner is going to receive a call or an email to negotiate the Joshua fight. But depending how well that pay-per-view does is going to depend how long those negotiations last, how thorough they are, and how one-sided they are. So again, the ace in the hole, Dillian Whyte, will be there for Joshua. And I think because Eddie has already said he's going to be working with Povetkin, it's the obvious choice. Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora. I think Rob said, oh, no, maybe he comes back versus Chisora. He'll be busy. December 22nd, he'll be busy. And he'll either lose by knockout or be the winner, vice versa for Dillian Whyte. So one of those guys won't make it to be able to fight Usyk, in my opinion.
Well, they went
Yeah,
all
I like the
time, so I don't know that it's definitely Chisora either loses by knockout or he wins. I think they went the distance last time, real slugfest, and I don't know, but it was just.
I mean, regardless, though, don't you think whether they knock each other out or don't, you think that they'll be ready for a new a new fight date in 90 days? Doubt it, bro.
I kind of meant the Chisoras as in that level. I
thought you meant literally Chisora.
Yeah. I just mean that level of opponent for Usyk to dip his toe in the heavyweight pool and see where he stands. But like I said, I can see like you're saying Povetkin, and I can see it on the AJ potentially Wilder / Dillian Whyte undercard. So I think it could then be Usyk goes on and wins that, Joshua, whoever wins that, and let's see you at the, like I say, end of 2019, the back end of 2019.
Let's be clear here, Ron. I just want to be clear that I would like Usyk also to take the Danny Garcia route. I'm not rushing him at all.
Well, see, that's exactly. I was going to suggest other names if he doesn't get to, like, you got Sergey Kuzman, Carlos Takam, or potential other options maybe that he can entertain.
Sergey who?
Kuzman, the one that fought David Price.
I don't even remember that fight.
Well, either or. I mean, or if they want to sacrifice the White Rhino, some guys like that, or the big one, maybe get the international flair. The big, what's the Zilly Zhang, Big Bang, maybe. I mean, I
think it's too soon for Zilly Zhang. Do we get that Monaco card on DAZN?
You should do. I think it's
I hope, man. You know that guy, he might not look good. He hasn't been able to get his visa. He trains here in the US, bro. He hasn't been able to get his visa. I've been on his trainer, bro. They're stuck in China, so hopefully he's putting it in and sparring like 3 Chinese people on top of each other to his sparring partner out there. I don't know, poor thing. I was really hoping to, do some camp lives on him, but he's stuck in China.
But yeah, I guess I just feel when you look at like Lomachenko, you look at Usyk, these guys are pushing themselves very fast. So I don't know.
You're right. So you're saying he might not be looking for a Dave Allen?
Definitely not a Dave Allen. Dave Allen, come on.
Yeah, but you don't even think he'll take a Dave Allen because of the acclamation to the heavyweight. Like, all right, I got to test the water. I'm dipping my toe in the water.
Yeah, feel good. Feel good in the weight. Figure out how he moves in there, how hard he punches.
Seller, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Allen's, he's got to start taking life seriously, and he's wanting to look at domestic level British heavyweight title, not fucking Oleksandr Usyk, the unified.
Oh, I hear you, man. I hear
you. But the money could be there, though. I mean, granted, money talks. So if they offer him good money to be a sacrificial lamb, come back later, go fight for the domestic level. You lost to Usyk.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just really slim pickings. It's either the names we know or the names we don't know. So he's gonna have to choose like a very sexy name or a name where we're still gonna cringe or turn up our nose. You know what I mean? Because
that guy that just beat Amir Mansour, Filip Hrgovic.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a good fight for me as a hardcore fight fan, but I don't think it does anything for Usyk. It's a tough fight versus another guy being fast-tracked who needs Usyk's stardom more than Usyk needs him. Usyk needs one of these following names: Brian Jennings, Derek Chisora, Joseph Parker, Adam Kownacki, Pulev, Luis Ortiz, Dillian White, Fury, and I mean Tyson, Miller, Big Baby, Povetkin, Wilder, like nothing else makes sense. Maybe Andy Ruiz you could throw in there, but if you start going any lower,
about attacking him.
Yeah, like if
that's what I said.
Lower, I'm not. You see, but I'm not interested in tackle.
I mean, that's a good heavyweight fight for like your first fight, though.
Yeah, but that's a boxing match, and like, do you really want to? I want to see. If I'm going to see Oleksandr at heavyweight, I want to see him in there with a threat. And I mean, at least the power threat. I know Chisora could punch. We know Dillian White could punch. We know Ortiz could punch. Pulev at least can punch. We want to see, can he take a heavyweight punch? But putting him in there with Takam, it's like, yeah, he'll outbox Takam, and we won't know.
Yeah, there's.
Some people in the chat was bringing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying there's possibly still the question mark hanging over that. I think maybe. Because Takam's solid, strong. Can take a lot of aggression. Can really take a beating maybe, but I don't know if that question mark would still be over Usyk after outboxing a Takam. So
I mean, it varies because you look at Takam. Obviously, he was in a life and death fight with Chisora. He made it a little competitive with Anthony Joshua. Some people felt it was a controversial stoppage. So if Usyk, someone who he's fighting is a little bit small in the heavyweight division, trying to get acclimated, not having to fight someone huge yet, maybe get in there. It's a name that's connected to other fighters in that division that maybe at that point, if Chisora loses to Dillian White, maybe he can go to the Chisora and then go up to Dillian White, like just following the paper trail, going up.
Fuck it, give him the biggest cherry pick, but still got a slight chance of getting knocked the fuck out. David Price got a big guy, big puncher, but you can knock his ass out and you can get him out of there. But he did have
a name. He's a name. He's an Olympian. The UK fight fans will get behind that.
And he did have Povetkin buzz before he was knocked out. So
all right, so what about this? He's 31. We mentioned the comparisons to Lomachenko, the fast tracking. Does he even want any filler? Is he going to tell Eddie, just sign me up for AJ?
Well, he's super champion, so I think he can basically leapfrog and be instantly like demand to be mandatory and have that fight, right? I believe.
Well, how pissed off are you if you're a big baby and you're going for that WBA regular, trying to get in line, trying to get in line, trying to get in line?
I don't think anyone is pissed off because everyone has to understand what undisputed means, how difficult it is not only to do it by beating the individual men that it takes, but by doing it due to boxing politics. But
well, yeah, just real quick, the WBO always has that ruling, and considering the fact Terrence Crawford had that opportunity to go up to Jeff Horn, you know, he became the super WBO whatever opportunist, and he fought, you know, Jeff Horn and got that. So there was fighters then who was probably like, oh, it's Jeff Horn, I can get my chance, and then here comes Terrence Crawford, jumps in.
That's probably why the WBO haven't named a mandatory yet for Joshua. They're probably still waiting to see what Usyk is going to do.
Yeah, because there was chatter about him relinquishing the titles, but then Eddie got him signed and made that big fight with Bellew. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we hear sort of pay-per-view numbers on this Bellew Usyk fight, because I believe Bellew made $5.2 million on this without pay-per-view money on the back of it. And it felt to me like there was a big buzz in the UK about it. So I hope it's done, you know, some good numbers. And
how did he make 5.2 though before pay-per-view? Like that is a big number.
Yeah, it's just reports I've read. I mean, I don't know. It could just be, you know, newspaper talk, and it could be way off. But he's gone out, had tried dare to be great or whatever, and he's made a shit ton of money in the process, and yeah, sailed off to the sunset. And like he said, he's going to do that video on how to lose 30 pounds and put it all back on again in 2 days or whatever. So I think once he sits back and relaxes and sort of mulls it over, he's going to ultimately be a healthy, hopefully a healthy, rich, happy guy. So, but yeah, it's crazy weekend. But do you want to get into the rest of the card?
Well, yeah,
I want to get into his post-fight interview. I would have played the audio, but it made no sense as it's, you know, straight up Ukrainian, and then the translator says, you know, the good stuff, which is the reporter asks him, how soon do you want to fight Joshua? And then there's a bunch of translation for a one-word answer of tomorrow. So, you know, just to answer our own question, that he might not be looking for any toe dipping, and he might just go straight to Joshua. Does he steal that April 14th day or 13th day? I don't know. I think that's still, I think Joshua and Eddie Hearn are still going to at least entertain trying to make the super fight.
And real quick, a big shout out to Tony Bellew. I wasn't able to say it like when I first got on, but big shout out to him. He had a good, solid career, made a lot of money, and gave us a exciting fight on his way out. Even though he got knocked out, it was a good fight to watch. Shout out Tony Bellew.
Yeah, no, his final performance, it was good. It was good enough to make me fucking flip flop and lose more money. So yeah, man, he performed way better than I expected. I know there's a, you know, contingency of haters out there, but I respect that last performance. That was pretty go out on your shield desk.
Yeah. I didn't expect anything less.
Yeah, but you had your love goggles on.
No, I didn't. I just didn't. I just don't see Tony Bellew as that kind of guy. You know, Steve Bunce was saying that his prediction was the towel would come in. Some might argue it should have, but until suddenly it was like, yeah, he was slowing down a bit, but then there was just a moment where he's done. He's stopped.
No way should the towel came in. Tony Bellew was perfect around the whole fight. I thought he was great up until not great, but he was getting tired. But like it's a boxing match. I mean, he's going to get tired. You know what I'm saying? So
Usyk saw the opportunity, and by the time that anything was even recognizable, like I recognized, I'm like, wow, Bellew's tired. I think Usyk could take him out. Literally the second I thought he took the opportunity, it was too quick to even recognize where it was going to go.
the way Usyk changed speed and power, like with that hook, it's fucking crazy because it didn't even look like it was that hard, but it was like the first one was all right, okay, but the second one was like, damn, that was kind of quicker and like kind of harder than the first one. So shout out to him.
But yeah, I didn't expect anything less.
Very emotional fight. I mean, if you saw posts like Ness was talking about after the fight, Tony Bellew was in tears, obviously being upset. Eddie Hearn had visibly red eyes, and not on camera you see him crying, but I'm sure at that point he was very emotional as well, considering the stuff he knows about his fighter and just a lot of emotions in that fight. And I think a lot of things was also shown. Tony Bellew always had this heart. Usyk was able to knock somebody out. It's just
and
very,
big shout out
fun.
to you, Rob, too, man. You posted that video of the atmosphere of the arena. That shit looked like it was fucking lit. So thank you for, like, just sharing that, man.
Yeah, I was going to say that it was like, was it his final dance or his final walk? Yeah, it's like spine tingling, and it's absolutely packed to the rafters. The mobile phone lights were on.
I just bet more people watched them get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, all right, Ness, that's great. But you just wish the American arenas were like that. That's all. But nah, shout out everyone. It was a great night, and obviously hometown hero Anthony Crolla done his thing as well. So it was packed, sold out well in advance. No worrying about dropping ticket prices or not opening the top tier of the stands or anything like that.
Better to lose in front of a few than lose in front of all your most loyal fans.
It ain't got to be America versus good fight, man. Good atmosphere, baby. That's all. That's all.
I got to do my daily fucking with Rob. Get out of here, bro.
Come
on, let's get on to the boring because everything else is whack, man. I mean, in terms of fights, bro, that Briedis fight was.
Well, we're just not doing the rest of the card.
Yeah, they're going to do the whole card. Crolla won. He's like the mandatory for Lomachenko now, right?
Yeah, and as you were speaking of purse bids with Wilder and Usyk, maybe, but Anthony Crolla, very business-like, done his thing. I mean, the guy was kind of mad basic, but he was a tough guy. Had little bursts and that, but Crolla done a professional job. I don't know if anyone saw the tweet. I think Michael Benson put it out, but
in the cup, yeah,
the blood, the sample, the sample was like fucking
like Kool-Aid.
Yeah, man. Fuck. Yeah.
Crolla?
Yeah.
All the body shots.
Yeah.
I would blow the shit out of Bob Arum.
That's why we shouldn't be talking about purse bids with him and Lomachenko. It's like if Dow Jordan, who's been fighting, and I bet you if you Google him, has about 300 rounds boxed. If he did that shit, Lomachenko, that's not healthy. It's not healthy for Crolla to go in there with Lomachenko.
Anyway, he's gonna. Why would he want to fight for a mandatory spot to not have the opportunity to share the ring with Loma? And
he does also have the opportunity. You never know. Like Loma could unify and move up.
Yep, just like Mikey Garcia. Coleman has a chance.
He could unify, and then boom, all those belts are vacant, and Corolla's right in line for another hometown big fight. For a vacant title.
Maybe Jorge Linares rematch. That's what some people were talking about.
Super chat from Mikos, and he's saying Ness, who wins Usyk versus Povetkin? I don't know if he thinks he's loading the question, right? Because he hears a little bit of hate, my normal hate. I'm hating on Bellew getting knocked out in front of how many people was it?
Probably
20K. But no, man, I'm still with Usyk. I still think he's a great boxer. And I did you see what happened with Povetkin? He did good too, though. You're right, though. Wait a minute, Miko. He is right. Povetkin did fuck up Joshua for like a half a round. I don't know. Nah. Usyk beats him, I think. Easy. What about you guys?
If Povetkin ain't got no dope, then he ain't winning.
Yeah, well, that fight's gonna be monitored by Eddie, bro. Eddie makes sure there's no doping. He makes sure his fighter has like some sort of sanctioning body on the line or something, Eddie will take care of all that.
I think Usyk has to survive the early rounds if he wants to win, because Povetkin at his freshest can still pose a threat, and he lunges, you know, when he was the smaller guy. So I can only imagine if the bigger guy as him fights someone Usyk size.
True.
But quickly back to Crolla, these purse bids, if it does happen to be, obviously Crolla's had a great career. He's been world champion, had those, you know, mad fights, 24 rounds with Linares, got massive support here. So he's been nothing but a great ambassador for British boxing. Never said anything bad about another fighter, always respectful, but built himself to a position where he's going to have
with this fucking
Mike, shut the fuck up a minute.
Everybody so respectful. What the fuck?
Is he not? Have you ever heard Anthony Crolla give any shit talk out, Mike?
I'm just saying.
I mean, he can't fight tough enough to talk shit.
All right, Mr. World Champion, fake out.
Good quality though to be such a respectful boxer.
World
But anyway, if I could just finish it so we can brush over the UK stuff as usual. He's going to have DAZN and ESPN in a purse bid. So Anthony Crolla is going to come away with this with a shit ton of money. Just like Tony Bellew's going to sail off, you know, that we're coming to the end of Crolla's career, I'm sure. I'm not saying for 1 second he wins a round against Loma. I can't wave that UK flag on this one too hard, you know. But he's deserved. He's got to the point where, you know, he's maybe going to make a shit ton of money with a fight against pound for pound the #1 fighter in the world.
So it's like you're saying this is Bellew Usyk 2.0, pretty much. Make a lot of money.
Kind of, except I'm giving probably Crolla less of a chance than I did Bellew, but you know,
pound fighter in the world.
A lot less.
Yeah, I mean, Crolla's just going to put his head down. Try, you know, that fight was just heads together, high guard. You know, Crolla's like massive fundamentals, but you're going to need a lot more than just good fundamentals against the Lomachenko, obviously. So, but all I'm trying to say is, he's been a model professional, and he's going to end up with a massive paycheck right at the end of the career. So
I think if you're Eddie Hearn, you don't even take him the Lomachenko route. You got him this high, and the UK public, you know, you guys know boxing well enough, know that he's highly ranked. I think right now they could do the Ricky Burns rematch, since Burns was on the undercard, also got the win, but he lost to Crolla because it's just like it makes no logical sense to put him in there with Lomachenko. It would be a very one-sided fight where Crolla could probably get hurt.
I'm sure.
But he's in the payday.
It's going to be tough to make anyway. It's just like Lomachenko doesn't take those type of fights. He's looking for, you know,
mandatories.
Yeah, he's looking for big fights, bro.
When he's unifying. So I mean, he was going to fight Beltran, but Beltran lost to Pedraza. So fighting for a belt would be bigger than a mandatory, and it tends to overrule the mandatory. So if after that, you know, he's been moving up in weight or been unifying, and that's kind of his trend. So if maybe he'll look for Mikey Garcia next, you know.
I don't see Lomachenko unifying with Beltran, then saying, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go fight Crolla. Like, I don't see that.
All right, all I'm saying,
while Mikey's like doing a pay-per-view, right? Because he'll be overshadowed
at 147. But if you think Eddie Hearn doesn't want to try and get Lomachenko to come and fight on his platform and not ESPN, then you must be crazy. He lost the Hooker Saucedo purse bid. If he can manage to get Lomachenko live on DAZN and Sky Sports,
Loma's never going to DAZN. He's like an ESPN top star. Him and Crawford.
And I know that you want to wave the Eddie flag, and that's cool because it makes it interesting. I just don't ever see Bob Arum not giving up enough money for his created. He created Loma, right? Like first fight. So he's got him on a pound for pound. I just think he'll pay to make sure he stays.
The best thing guys can
Usyk was never created. You know, that's why Usyk he was created on World Boxing Super Series platform, which was televised on DAZN, which made sense.
And but easy for Eddie to get him. He didn't have a network.
It wasn't on DAZN when he was fighting it, was he?
The best thing you guys can hope for is that Bob sells the UK rights to Sky Sports. That's about it.
But he'll never do that. He just did this long deal with ESPN. Like,
I'm saying like if you sell the UK rights to Sky Sports, then you still have like the US.
Well, he's not gonna do that because he already has the deal with Frank Warren, homie. It's a two-way street.
Money talk, man. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
No, okay. No, I wish you were someone else when you said that, right? Because like, when Frank says that he's making an offer to Eddie, it's impossible because he's coming from BT. But now you want us to believe that money talks. So Sky Sports would somehow be doing business with BT.
What are you talking about?
Bob and Frank, bro.
So Bob and Frank have a exclusive deal. Every fight that's on.
Everything I read. Well, no.
Thank you.
I don't know. I don't know if it's.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, we
to a degree they have some sort of thing.
Me not to do it. You might as well just say whatever on your mind because you keep interrupting. What?
The last ESPN Plus fight was not on Box Nation. Absolutely not.
Which was,
like I said, I don't know if it's a two-way street.
Fight was that?
The one that Bomac was doing. I forget the main event, but I can't think of the main event right now.
But most of their big fights, Warren get.
Beltron.
I mean, Rob, you want to help us instead of all the faces? You live in the UK, so you get this.
I don't know the last. If it's Lomachenko, I'm pretty sure it's been Box Nation, but I don't know if things have changed now with this maybe two-way thing with Warren. I don't know, but
what is the last top rank boxing you?
I don't know what the last top rank. I don't normally.
What was Lomachenko Linares on?
Box Nation, I think. I'm pretty sure. Someone in the chat will tell you. I'm pretty sure.
Box Nation does put on ESPN cards back then, yeah. But they recently just did this BT ESPN thing, so we'll see. I mean, anything's possible, but there is like a friendly relationship going on with Bob Arum and Frank Warren. Hence why all the Frank Warren fights are on ESPN. And people in the chat has been saying, and I don't know where the sources are, but they're verifying that they do see that BT and ESPN had a relationship going on for a little bit.
What I said.
I said Box Nation. My bad.
So you guys want to touch on any other fights? Maybe the Rickster, Rob.
Josh Kelly just destroying the guy. One round, looking good. He's gonna have a fight real soon. You know when's his next fight, Rob?
Yeah, he's gonna be on the Calbrook card, December 8th, which is also Loma's date, right? I think isn't it December 8th? He's fighting for. They
mentioned a pretty decent opponent,
David Avanesian.
It's a decent opponent. It's a decent opponent because Kelly has how many fights now?
That was his 8th, I think.
That's a decent opponent. I mean, when Broner fight Avanesian,
when Peterson fight him like a couple fights ago, so it's a damn good opponent.
Yeah, man, he's moving fast. I didn't watch this fight. It's funny. I was watching this fight.
Yeah, you blink, you miss it, though, Nez.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. Like, I had my laptop on my lap. I'm watching it in my bedroom. And then next thing you know, he's walking in the ring. And then they're already at the side of the ring doing the interview with him and Eddie. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I didn't even rewind. Like, I just kept going. I'll watch it later because I remember that the guy that he fought, I didn't really care much. I remember you and I going back and forth and you saying this was just a stay busy fight. So it's like, whatever. He did what he was supposed to do.
I think it just had a little bit of timeout. So this was just, loosen up again. We're going to be going big in December or whatever. So show us what you got. Yeah, he just, slicked the guy out of there. He was too fast, too good.
OTKP in the chat says you didn't miss nothing. Castillo was fucking awful.
So Rob, what do you see?
Capital letters on awful.
What do you see in like Josh Kelly? What's his like ceiling? If you just off the eye test, Rob.
He's obviously skilled, but I don't know. I question whether he's really got that elite level power. Whether you need it or not, if you're super skilled, I don't know. But I think the higher he goes, the more difficult he's going to get. And I guess then that's when we really find out. But I'm going to pump the brakes maybe on. He's a 100%, certified world champion in the making. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think he'll mix it at the top or the higher end, but we'll have to see. But
Something I want to real quick. I just wanted to acknowledge that I did not know they did this in the UK, so props to them. So when there's fights that end really fast, they put their fillers in between the fights. So I actually thought they put this filler card above Josh Kelly, and I was like, why is this above Josh Kelly? I was freaking out, like, this is poor scheduling. But over here in the US, we have a lot of filler fights or fights that they put before and after the televised fight. I thought it was pretty cool that they filled the gaps up with fights supposedly instead of just waiting, even though I didn't really watch it. But, I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Ron was having a mini meltdown in the pre-pro chat.
I was like, this is a dumbass schedule. Who the fuck made this?
Why is this fight above Kelly's fight? He's getting mad. But,
just for the people listening, December 8th, Kelly will be back in the ring, and that is the same card as Kell Brook in Sheffield, England. And it's the same day as Loma and his unification with Jose Pedraza. So it'll be another all-day boxing. We'll get our UK boxing bright and early, starting at 1 with the main event somewhere around 6. And then we'll get, ESPN Plus or ESPN, whatever we bring you the details. I'm sure the details are I just don't have them on hand. But yeah, man, Kelly, this is a good fight with David Avanesian. I'm interested in seeing how well he does. Go ahead, Mike.
Did we touch on Kell Brook and Amir Khan? Amir Khan was like, told Barry Hearn to make the fight. So I mean,
I just want to note that Avanesian will be coming off of that loss, though. So I think it's that Top Rank guy, right? Isn't it that Top Rank guy? Maybe Rob can help us with the.
You can have a look.
Lithuanian.
Rick. I'll have a look. Keep talking.
Angelos Kavaliauskas.
Yeah, I was just
Kavaliauskas. Whoever the fuck that is. But that's who defeated Avanesian, right? So what else do we got? Oh, the Eddie Hearn news, right? So his signings. 3 heavyweights, did he say, or 2 heavyweights?
Yeah, I think it was 3. But let's just say 2.
Eddie, several, as well as several heavyweights was the word used. And says more light heavyweight champions will soon be joining Dazn. So champions Bivol fights on November 24th versus John Pascal. And he's with Main Events, who doesn't really have a deal. Champion. Who else is a champion? Jose Patagi, right? He's a champion.
Not at 175.
Oh,
but maybe he's thinking Oleksandr. Maybe he thinks Alexander's going to be Adonis Stevenson.
I doubt it.
Maybe that's what he thinks.
Well, no, but Oleksandr Gotchek is signed to ESPN, homie. That's a top rank fighter for sure.
Alvarez,
right? Oh, no, that's a good one.
Right? I thought he was the
too, right? Oh, no, he's not main event.
Now I'll tell you this. And I'm glad that Rob brought up Alvarez. First name is El Delir. He possibly is not a free agent. I know that he signed to Yvan Michel. Maybe Ron can get the details on that. Signed to Yvan Michel, but also owes Al Heyman an option. It's on my interview with Mark Ramsey when I was in Chicago. And since we're talking Mark Ramsey and light heavyweights and El Delir Alvarez, Mark Ramsey is Alvarez's trainer, as well as Better Beef's trainer, as well as David Lemieux's trainer. So he advised Better Beef not to take the Joe Smith fight. Now that fight, I'm being told is being pushed back. So it's not a full duck. It's just an extension. But if you're a Better Beef fan, you got a question. Why do you need an extension? You just got out of a fight in October in Chicago. Like, how are you not ready for a December or a November card? Like, it didn't make any sense. But again, I think they're rescheduling it you guys could tell me if you found anything on it.
Yeah, I think they're looking at maybe January. It's just been pushed back to January. So it was looking like it might have ended up on the Canelo fielding card. So it's only getting pushed back. Maybe.
Yeah, but Rob, that's why I questioned it, because if you're a DAZN fighter, where would you want to be on?
On that
AJ Canelo card. That's the card I want to be on. AJ or Canelo card.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but like you say.
And he was offered that slot. Normally, we'll be making shows like, oh man, he needs to try and get on the AJ card. And it's like, bro, he was offered the Canelo slot, and you're saying no versus a big name that's beatable.
And that would have been maybe, I don't know, co-main maybe, or
hell yeah. But do you know what? Is that Joe Smith presents a serious threat. You know, he does have a punch, and Better Beef has gone down by lesser men. If you're watching this on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Costs you nothing, helps with the visibility of the show. And since we're talking things that cost you nothing, head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/affiliate sponsors. Click on that Amazon link, which we continue to talk about. You know, you could bookmark it and do all your shopping through there. It costs you absolutely nothing. TBV gets a kickback, which is official.
Don't forget about that TBV shop, 20% off. Special code just for you.
With four being a numerical number, 4 at ThaBoxingVoice.com/store. So, all right, we talked a little bit of the light heavyweight. So, we only mentioned Elderly Alvarez as a possible light heavyweight signing. Bivol, possible light heavyweight signing. Anything else I'm missing?
It's really nothing out there. I mean, Sullivan Barrera's probably going to go over there because of main event, but he's not a champion.
Who's the WBA regular?
There isn't a WBA regular.
For light heavyweight, it's not? Okay.
All right, so let's shift it to his heavyweights that he'll be announcing in a couple of weeks. Now, this is something he's been saying for some time. I wonder if it's taking longer than normal, or it's just going to be a huge announcement. Do we get a press conference, or is this just released on an IFL video?
I don't know, but are you wondering if the Ortiz deal after this undercard fight?
Yeah, it's what I heard. It's definitely what I heard, that after he fights on the December 1st, there's a 3-fight deal waiting. Again, I mean, if you're Ortiz, I know it coming out of my mouth, it won't sound right, but if you're Ortiz, you got to question, do you trust Eddie? You already did a 3-fight deal with him, and you didn't get AJ. Are you going to go back down that route? And now there's more artillery on Eddie's side. He could sign you to a 3-fight deal and put you through the ringer before you get to AJ. You know, now if you're Luis Ortiz, you can get a Dillian White fight, which I want and which, you know, Ortiz would like. And then you can get further pounding with a Alexander Povetkin fight next. And then you can go through the biggest boxing match of your career before Joshua fight and have to fight Usyk. So, you know, you gotta know what you're getting and what's going to be on paper. Why on paper? Ness, why are you saying these things about Eddie Hearn? Well, I don't know. Last I checked, he told another heavyweight he told 2 other heavyweights he was getting an AJ fight. They have not got him. But one, at least, is signed to him and wants to re-sign Big Baby Gerald Miller. So, again, any heavyweight trying to do business, just get it in writing at this point.
Not even getting it in writing. Big Baby's going to re-sign. So that tells me that he's been taken care of financially. So maybe Ortiz seeing what's on the money on the contract, and it just made it easy for him. I mean, it probably made it real easy for him. So it's probably more about the money than necessarily who he's fighting.
We've seen Broner tell us what the 3-fight plan was. We've seen Fury with numbers coming out, with you know, private and confidential emails coming out. So maybe that money is just too good.
I'll tell you this. Go ahead, Ron.
Oh, I was gonna say, just speculating a potential signing. Eddie does like to get like up and coming prospects and stuff. Maybe Tony Yoka, who's from he's in France.
He can't fight in France for a year though.
He can't fight in France. I think he can fight elsewhere, Mike.
Yeah. I'm saying I say he can't fight in France.
So yeah, he'd look to go.
Like, what we keep telling you, if you talk like this,
I'm talking right into the mic. Like, am I not talking right to the mic? Yo,
probably.
yo. Okay.
But I think Tony Yoka could probably be a good potential signing, you know, because he's trying to expand overseas in Europe, and I think that would be a good heavyweight. He has the golden boy persona. He's beaten known fighters and the amateurs, and he's only like 5-0.
The Matchroom Boxing LLC of Italy, you know, they're going to be doing some business in Italy, so it could be heavyweight signing out there, people that we have no clue of.
And OTKP, you're absolutely right. Tony Yoka is signed with Ringstar. I totally forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I mean things happen. You know, I mean maybe he needs that extra boost. I mean Tevin Farmer is a special occasion, so I wouldn't say it's the normal, but I don't know. Maybe yeah, but I just figured about Ringstar.
And as far as them saying we'll be signing 3 big or whatever names or big heavyweight, I don't know. I don't think he's going to come in with some Dazn Italy or Matchroom Italy thing. I don't think it's that. I
mean, Eddie's a good salesman. He'll probably come in and say, "Oh, this is the #1 Italy ranked heavyweight. He went to the Olympics for Italy," and paint him up, you know. And then all of a sudden, we know him.
Is Zilly Bang signed with Eddie yet?
Not that I know of.
So that's another possible
Not that I know of, but like we know his next fight is with Eddie, and we know that's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Alexander Povetkin isn't with Eddie, but his next fight will be with Eddie. Joseph isn't with Eddie, but his last 2 were with Eddie. You know, Eddie's doing good business, brother, and he's bringing guys back. Like if you lose, you at least get to come back. That's important. You know what I mean? That's important, I think. Any final thoughts on that before we shift to the 4th topic?
Did we do the World Boxing Super Series?
Yeah, we did not touch on it. We were supposed to. Then we went into more of the Usyk Bellew undercard, and you know, I think I was the only one that said the Briedis. I mean, me and you maybe talked briefly about Briedis fight, but yeah, I mean, it was whack.
He didn't look great. I think he got gifted a win. Many people scream robbery on that. So at that point, I mean, controversy in Chicago.
The judges had a gun when they read them scorecards.
The only thing that I was pleased about was I didn't know much of Briedis. I watched the Tony Bellew fight and his other World Boxing Super Series fight from the last time. So I thought he was like in a one-sided fight, which he was supposed to be. But then I seen the trainer, and it was Pedro Diaz in the B-side corner. And then we're here discussing possible robbery. Just interesting to see, man. It's something that young fighters need to take note of. Even older fighters like a Garcia, right? You know, who people say needs to get a second look in the corner, you know, to revive things or refresh things. This little to unknown dude caused a lot of trouble for a very well-known cruiserweight who's, you know, even gotten a heavyweight knockout or a knockout over a heavyweight. So just impressive, man, that something as small as a trainer could be the difference, right? Or not that the trainer is the difference, but noticing that there's an elite level trainer shows that that fighter could possibly be elite, because obviously anyone could hire Freddie Roach. Don't mean you're skilled, right? But if we don't know you when the trainer's with you, it might mean something that we don't know. So, you know.
I was thoroughly impressed with Kramer, though. Kramer came out there and fought a good fight and really put it on Briedis. So I just hate that he got robbed like that, man. That doesn't make any kind of sense. So.
Yo, another heavyweight that Diaz had, Pedro Diaz has. If I'm not mistaken, he has his flip. He got flipped. Hurd, and he got Tyrone Sponge.
Sponge. I keep hearing that name.
He was the one that's been sparring with Luis Ortiz. He's normally spars Luis Ortiz. He's also Cuban. He's a Nestor Gibbs doppelganger. He has boxing background, or MMA, some shit like that. I don't know him like that, bro. People tag me because we look alike, so that's how I found out about him. Then when I started following him, he's mad popular on social media, and then it was like, boom, he trains with Pedro Diaz. He lives in Miami. Yeah. So Earl Spence says he'd entertain Jarrett Hurd, but he also feels like Charlo's taking all his belts. So much like Mikey Garcia, right? So Mikey Garcia kind of picked on Broner, and then Broner fought him and lost. So then Robert Easter kind of went to avenge that, and it didn't happen. So now Mikey got to fight Earl, right? So it could be the same way. Now Mikey got to fight the other big bro. Is he going to beat this one, or is this one going to avenge the losses of the two little bros? Same thing with Jarrett Hurd, Jamel Charlo. Before I get a Earl Spence, Jarrett Hurd, I need to see Jamel Charlo, Jarrett Hurd. It's beautiful of Earl Spence to talk about a possible fight with Jarrett Hurd. Shows balls, everything I want to hear. But you got some business to handle, and Jamel got some business to handle. He believes Jamel will do it, so better storyline if Jamel doesn't get it. Earl comes in, challenges Jarrett Hurd. But how serious are you guys taking this? Is this just a reporter asking a question and all media outlets running with a good headline?
Yeah, I think what you just said there. I think he was just answering a question. You're not going to say, nah, I don't want that. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those stories, I think.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with Rob. I just think it's like one of those stories, and I don't think Jarrett Hurd after the Charlo fight will be hanging around 154 for that much longer.
Dog, a fight with Earl is a super fight, especially once Earl beats Garcia. I'm pretty sure Hurd will hang around for, an Earl Spence in Texas pay-per-view.
I don't know.
Because imagine Earl beats Mikey, right? Hurd beats Jermel. So then Earl turns around and says, now it's my turn to dare to be great. I'm moving up like those before me, like the Oscars from 47 to 54, like the Floyds from 47 and the Canelo. The history is there. It's easy. It's easy.
What about what's happening at 160 and where the money is at 160? Maybe Jarrett Hurd gets a phone call from Eddie Hearn. There was always rumors of that early on with DAZN. Maybe he wants to look at. I'll have a go at Canelo. You know what I mean? I'll have some of that. I don't know.
I'll be honest with you, man. I can't wait for these phone calls to start. I want to see where these alliances fall, Rob. I want to see how enticing are those offers from Eddie Hearn and Showtime. They got 120 million, right, for this year. How much are they giving these guys? Are they going to lose fighters in a time where they need fighters? I'm very excited to cover that whole angle of all this, right? Because, if Luis Ortiz walks away, it's like Showtime failed Deontay Wilder as a network.
Twice.
You have a heavyweight that needs opponents, and you let the heavyweight walk away. That's insane. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see all this. I'm going to report on all of it because it's going to be a lot of what Hispanics like to say, tirijala, right? It's a lot of back and forth, and I can't wait. And Eddie's going to be letting the cat out the bag left and right. He's like, well, Luis Ortiz is, they wanted money, and I made him a generous offer. There's no one out there to do what Eddie does for the Heyman side and say, no, Luis Ortiz, if he decides to go with Eddie, he's a crazy man because we made him a great offer. No, there's no one to say that. There's only Eddie to say, Ortiz, if he wants a shot at Joshua, if he wants to make more than $2 million per fight, Eddie knows what to say to get the media going. And I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah. Back to one of my old points. PBC needs a Eddie Hearn kind of guy.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I just always felt. Obviously, Eddie's like the busiest guy out there. They're doing the most interviews, and whether what he's saying is all horseshit, lies, or whatever, he's out saying what he's saying, promoting, doing whatever. And I've always felt there's a little bit of a lack of it, that side of things. But you guys are doing your thing, and it's made fighters a lot of money and whatever. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But obviously Eddie's from maybe a different side of it, and he is the character and the way he is. So that works for him, and it works over here. I know you obviously all you UK sheep believe everything Eddie Hearn says, and it's working. I don't know, but yeah, maybe PBC or whatever. It's good. Ned's got that interview with Tim Smith, but they're few and far between, right? You don't necessarily get these Tim Smith interviews all the time. We had him on that podcast that we done a show on, and now
I don't know if I would say it's working. What do you mean by it's working?
Well, you've done it fine without like a real. We're talking like Mike said, PBC need an Eddie Hearn type guy out front, this, that, and the other. But have PBC really ever had that? And yet PBC is doing all these great deals. Fighters are, sort of turning Eddie down or whatever. So it's not, in my opinion, fighters are happy, or I know some have left, but fighters are happy and they're doing all right, and they've got this Fox deal and this extended Showtime deal or whatever, 120 million, and find out next year how that's going to break down for the cards. Obviously we've heard there's 3 pay-per-views coming next year already, or 1 this year and 2 more, maybe, what's going to be the next one. But there must be a lot left in the pot if a lot of these are pay-per-view fights already, we're hearing. So maybe fighters have been promised a lot of money or up front or whatever. But I don't think you've needed an Eddie Hearn kind of character, because you've been doing fine without one. So,
well, I mean, not everyone gets to talk to Al. You hear that all the time when you interview these fighters. So I think you do need an Eddie Hearn for the PBC side, because the PBC side, the Clarissa Shields, who's not with PBC, all fighters watch Eddie. Everyone knows Eddie now, bro. I mean, like, you have to be blind not to know him. So
didn't you see Al Hammond before? Can't you clarify he's a real human being that you seen with your own eyes?
we have video. I posted it in our production chat. There's video from a few years ago of me recording Al secretly. I'm surprised he hasn't made me take that shit down, because I've been around where people take pictures of him and they send the Watson twins or security to tell the dude to delete the picture. I mean, I've watched that, literally seen that happen to photographers that I know in Barclay.
Why?
Have their camera taken and make the picture be deleted. Why? Because he's a private man, and when you are rich, you're powerful. So if you take a picture,
you'll probably never get in again.
You can keep it, but you're dealing with a powerful man, right? So something's gonna happen. A, that someone's gonna take your camera and delete it for you, or B, maybe I don't know, hypothetically, because I don't know what Al would do, but maybe legal action, right? I don't know. Is it against the law to snap someone's picture without their consent? Probably. I'm not sure.
Not in a public place.
Not in public place, no.
Public. All right. Well, there you go. I don't know.
But
probably just make his life miserable. When you're rich, you can do that.
You can't get into no other venue that I put a show in.
That's definitely true. Like you can probably walk away with the picture, but you won't be approved to any other fights.
Picture, homie.
So it's really up to you what you want to do. So are we going to get to any of these hot button topics, or are we going to open up these phone lines? You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1, ladies and gentlemen that are in queue, if you want us to get to you. And don't type when you can Skype. Add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. That's NESTORGIBBS. Should we just run down the other? Oh, what we need to talk about?
Contender?
I was going to say that we need to talk about the Contender in depth. We got to talk about the Contender in depth.
Wow. Spoiler alert for everyone if you're
wow. I am very impressed with the production. Last night watching this, I'm just saying to myself, why has HBO Showtime, even ESPN. Why isn't this a regular thing on a big network that is already affiliated with boxing? Why isn't Bob investing in this? Why isn't anyone investing in this? Shout out the Title. Shout out to Jordan and Reebok. Well, probably not Jordan. I think Jordan just sponsored, obviously, Ward and no one else because Reebok had the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, shout out to whatever sponsors.
Not title. I like Title. Like, damn, Jay-Z had something to do with that.
Yeah, I knew it, Nessman.
The uniform. Yeah, Title.
Yeah, Title. Like Title. So, yeah, man, shout out to those sponsors that took the chance, you know what I'm saying, to get on board with something that probably, I don't know.
Yeah, shout out to Andre Ward for fucking staying relevant through this whole time, like being like one of the main figures of that show. That's for putting himself in like the media outlet. The social media.
Yes, I said that yesterday on the Immediate Reaction show. After watching the Contender, I like Ward so much more. We were lied to believe that he didn't have a personality. He showed all of himself on this show. He showed that he could be a mentor. He could be a big brother. He showed, that he could be the one passing down the reprimand, giving the stern punishment. He showed that he's fly as fuck. On multiple occasions, I turned over and told my girl, fuck, this nigga could dress good as hell. Like, fuck, he's sponsored by Jordan in every outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did so good. I get it. I get giving these fighters the second chance and all that. It made me care, but it didn't make for good TV fights. The Michael Moores of the world, a lot of those guys were not technically skilled. They were very rough around the edges. And again, it didn't make for good television entertainment, right? Again, my girl is a casual fan who's watching boxing like most women watch sports because of their significant other. But every now and then she would give me the casual fan, banter, right? Like, she would even throw oh shit every now and then. Someone would get dropped or hit. But there was a lot of fights where she's like, damn, this is sloppy. This is taking long. The sloppiness was the biggest point. Michael Moore was like a poor man's version of a homeless version.
Bro, hold on. What is it with you and Michael Moore?
No. I'm telling you what's wrong with me and Michael Moore.
No.
I'm telling you, he's a poor man's version of a homeless version of Andre Ward. He's clinching, and every time he's trying to fight, like, nobody wants to watch that, bro. Like, I'm consistent. When Devin Alexander beat Marcos Maidana, he gets no credit here because he clinched too much. Like, when Kell Brook beat Sean Porter, you hear my show. No credit. I'm frustrated because you're fucking taking the fight from me. That clinching shit, it ain't part of boxing. Queensberry rules don't have that in boxing. The problem is it's up to the judge's discretion, and these referees be scared because fans will start booing, and then they get, they become bitch made. Look at the referee in Washington, D.C. versus Amir Khan. You know what I'm saying? He did the right thing. Khan was shoving because he couldn't take the fucking heat in the kitchen, so he got a point deducted, and that referee got ridiculed, where he shouldn't have. People should be backing the referees for making the tough decisions. But whatever, another story, another day.
You didn't like Michael Moore because of his attitude. Like, why is he always talking? Why is he always talking? He talks too much.
Bruh, because he was holding. And first of all, if you want me to talk about his attitude, yeah, he a big ass dummy, big ass dummy, sitting around here trying to fight Danny Dalvilla all the time on camera, trying to take it to the street. Look at your dumb.
Oh my god,
you dumb. That's why he ain't win. That's why he ain't win. Like Ward told him, his mind wasn't on the right fucking thing. Meanwhile, someone who hadn't fought in 3 fucking years, moving up from 54 because your little novice ass don't even know that. Brandon Adams used to fight at 54.
Bro, I interviewed him. So
he was already in the tournament on ESPN's Bucksino. All right, so he had all the chips stacked against him, and he still won it because Michael Moore too busy trying to be on TV, being a fucking fake tough guy, knowing damn well he wasn't going to swing, knowing damn well he wasn't going to do shit, and because in a real fight, all he going to do is hold, tired ass. He a big ass low version of Dillian White. Damn, Mike, stop cutting me off, motherfucker. Let me
trying to talk too, bro. You been going like fucking 15 fucking minutes, bro.
Yeah,
breathe. Take a breath, some water or something.
Cut off artists.
Hey, I'm good at it anyway.
This is
bro.
Michael Moore. And we're not talking about the actual.
I'm not mad at Michael Moore, bro. That's Mike, man.
I'm just like, hey man, Brandon's always smiling. Like when he first got here, I thought he was smiling way too much to even like be. I thought he was just happy to be here. But over time, he showed me that his smiling was just something that he does all the time. So
smiling because he knew he was going to the fucking bank because he was a man on a mission, not like your boy.
Oh, my boy. All right, whatever. Anyway, man, shout out to motherfucker.
Yo, I don't even know why they gave you. You know why they gave your man so much TV time? Because of his personality. And all television, all reality TV needs drama. Okay, so they kept him there because he fucking lost anyway. How you talk all that shit and Shane Mosley Jr. beats your ass? I mean, before this, let me tell you something, Mike. Again, because you obviously don't know, but before this show. And I don't mean this show, the boxing, but I mean before that show, the Contender, Shane Mosley was nobody. He was literally nobody. And you know what? This show did a wonderful job of showing who the fuck he is and his trials and tribulations because, you know, I cried with him because I understand what it is to be a junior, to be in the shadow. Not, you know, not because I am a junior, because I ain't in no shadow, but I'm saying I know for the Julio Cesar Chavez's of the world and things like that. You feel me? Like, it's always going to be hard. Like, if Floyd, one of his sons fight, it's a wrap. Andre Ward's son fight, it's a wrap. Broner's son fight, Crawford's son fight, it's over. You have such a fucking hard Mount Everest hill to climb because of who your daddy was. So, yeah, man, I get it. I get Shane Mosley's story, but before this fucking Contender, Mosley was nobody. He already had 2 losses versus nobodies. He never was on TV. Fringe contender, like fringe. People knew him because of his name, and he needed this. And he showed true grit. He did, but technically he didn't show anything. I mean, Nazim was up there lying, talking about he the most skilled out of the group. I'm like, hell no, that dude that I think Michael Moore beat.
That Russian.
Nah.
He's a Ukrainian. You're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about Heatroff. I'm not talking about Ivani Heatroff because obviously, as skilled as we thought he was, he's not skilled. He keeps squaring up, and he don't got the gas tank. You know what I'm saying? He don't even got the mindset. It was the other dude that kept coming in with the bandana on the top of the head or the towel on his head with the fro.
Well, he was tough, but he was always getting hit though.
Yeah, but he was technically more skilled, but the thing is he could be put into a fight very quick because lack of experience. He just needs to get with a real trainer and real training camp because that's just another thing that needed to be said. Like, this was all pre-recorded. So they did everything. They had all those little fights in 1 month, and then they ain't see each other for like 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So all those fights took place in May, and then they didn't fight until this weekend. So it's just, I don't know. It was good, though. I would like to see a big network take this on. You know, Epics, shout out to them for being, you know, innovative enough to pick it up. But they're not big enough.
No.
Not in everybody's home. Like, you need this on everybody's home because this is the UFC's fighter. You know, they stole the Contender's idea. They just have the right platform. Contender needs to be on the right platform. And I don't know if it should be recycled, guys. You know, I know that I get it. I get it. You know, give these guys a shot. This is exactly what this was intended for. But I would like to see young. I mean, it was too many 35-year-olds. I loved all the stories. I love the dude that went to jail. I can't even believe you going to jail at 15, being in there 15 years, learning how to fight in there, you know, getting out. Andre Ward is your mentor, getting to the fucking semifinals in this tournament, being on television. I mean, this is all surreal and a fucking living dream for Eric Walker. but he is too crude. He's too crude. He's too crude. He's too old. Like he'll like at 160, he will be eaten.
Yeah. How do you feel about it being on Twitter? Like, was it easily accessible for you?
Well, I mean, I got Epic, so I don't play them fucking millennial games.
Just to recap, so Brandon Adams gets a top 10 ranking in the WBA in the middleweight division now, right? That's what it is. So that means he's going to be in there with like David Lemieux, Murat, Selecki, Jason Quigley.
Yo, Adams impressed me, bro. I mean, I know Adams. I didn't even know he was going to look like this. His body has always looked the part. So that wasn't what like got me. The power is what got me. I'm like, whoa, this kid moved up to 54. Like, I know Tyrone Brunson, you know what I'm saying? And I know personally Ivan Heatrov. Like, he beat them all. You know, he got 3 solid names. They really, like, he really benefited from the tournament. He got about the biggest names he could get. Like, if you mix and match all those names, if you're Brandon Adams, that's the best thing that happened. Like, I can't picture anyone else that I'd be like, damn, you know, take him out, put him in. Like, in terms of star power, those are all recognizable. Shane Mosley Jr., Ivan Heatrov, and the first one was Tyrone Brunson, which was a veteran. He's got hella names on his resume. You know, he's been in the ring with hella people. Like, Brandon really got this off.
I told him, I said, bro, to be off, I mean, to like have those 2 fights, it did not look like you were off for like 3 years, man. You came out sharp. You came out looking.
He looked crazy good, bro. I mean, it was good. He really stood composed. Big right hands, nice accuracy. Yeah, man. I mean, I thought he was short. I always thought he was short. So
he was a small middleweight.
He looked big. Like, he looked okay versus all those guys, you know? So
I mean, it was taped like within like how many months? So those guys had to always be on like a certain weight. So they were all like kind of in the same field because they didn't know when they were going to be called to fight.
And look, remember, he was in Bucksino. He lost to John Thompson, who was in the Contender. So he lost in the Bucksino tournament back 3 years ago, you know. And I wonder if he hadn't fought in 3 years because he was trying to get out of that Banner Promotions contract, which I'm sure he's not out of. Banner Promotions and Star Boxing, while they're a small promotional company, guys, if you're just tuning in, if you've just started listening, remember those names. Those guys are like the mob. They keep fighters forever.
Bro, he said he's been trying to get it out of for like 3 years. And I asked him, like, after the tournament.
You're never allowed out. I've never met a fighter that got out of that deal. Ruslan Pavatnikov signed with Heyman, still was in that deal. Demetrius Andrade, that's the one that got out. That's the one that got out. That's the one that got out. He's the only one that got out. Chris Algieri tried. He's been out of the ring maybe 3 years too. And he's back in it. He can't get out. He's fucking poor kid's going to be fighting on Paramount Theater off TV. This is the disrespectful nature of these little motherfucking promoters. You know, this is why Big Baby's mad at Salita, because it's like, bruh, you can't do nothing for me. You keeping me in this contract. And now I got to go fight in an auditorium with 1,500 people and no TV. You probably going to get me on Facebook with 1 camera live stream. You know, no professionalism. Like, stop it. Stop ruining these people's career. Look, they took 3 years out of Brandon Adams and 3 years out of Chris Algieri. Fucking animals, bro. Bloodsuckers.
Are these guys like doing years, or are they doing like fight? You know what I'm saying, like fight deals or whatever?
Bruh, years. And you hear me getting more and more information as I talk to these fighters, bro. It's like, you get a title shot, like Brandon Adams probably extended because of this contract, because of this Contender series and what it offered him. You know, the show probably exceeded the expectations of the contract, so it automatically renews some bullshit like Big Baby getting a title shot via Eddie Hearn, but fucking Dimitri Salita gets to extend his contract. Crazy, bro. Crazy. So Rob's just not gonna come, huh? He's only around for the UK shit. Then he expects us not to be biased. Look,
he said, to his credit, he said he didn't watch anything else though.
But
dog, you could comment on certain shit. Like,
I do hope there's footage of the undercard. They actually had all the other fighters. They didn't televise it. I wish they did.
Yeah.
Or showed some. They had a whole card. What'd you say?
Which ones are you interested in?
Just in general. I mean, I just want to see all the matchups because they had all the fighters face other opposing people in the house. So they had Lee fighting Brunson. I want to see
the guy that got knocked out, Cash. If he can
Cash. He fought Hernandez. I think they did say Cash lost to Hernandez.
Damn, Madman beat him. I remember. Does anybody here on the show remember? And this is why Rob could be on. Maybe he says, "Yeah, I remember." But remember, what was his name? Fucker. Damn, that sounds bad.
Yeah, I remember.
What was his name? From the Bay Area. Oh my God, he was even a ringer. Jesus Christ! Don't take any offense to this when he hears this in the show. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. He was on Border Wars. He fought Info Joe. Come on. All the time he calls in. Used to
Alex Lemon.
Alex Lemon. That's fucking right. Alex Lemon put us on Marcos Madman Hernandez, bro. So when I seen him on the Contender, I was like, oh shit, I know that guy. And it was Marcos Madman. Yo, he's
from Fresno.
Yeah, he also had a little soft, heart. They were all good stories, bro. All good stories, man. I just want to hear a press release, see a headline of the Contender being picked up for the next 5 seasons by a decent network. You know what I mean? That would be very great. Any final thoughts?
Very quick. Boxing Scene reporting that Tevin Farmer will face Francisco Fonseca on the Canelo Fielding card. That is for people who can't remember. That is the guy Tank fought on the Mayweather McGregor undercard. Remember, he missed weight. Knocked him out in the 8th round, but sort of common opponent.
Monty came out with the blue hoodie and stuff.
Eddie fucking doing a good job because that gives a common opponent to Tevin, more to talk about, drum up the interest. He's forcing that Tevin Farmer fight. I'm telling you, he's making Tevin Tank's only nemesis, right? Like he's already taken that Ryan Garcia position.
And it's kind of, I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form, but it's almost making Farmer look like the tough guy and that Tank don't want it.
Yep, because Tank doesn't control his career. Farmer has a network and a platform now. He can say, what? Let's fight. What? I got money. Oh, I'll get you more money than ever. When the last time you fought? And what could Gervonta do?
Because Tank said, go get a title. And he's been saying, look, I've got the bout now. I've got the title. You told me to go get a title. I got the title. I got the money. And it's like, oh, we'll fight. We'll fight. I don't know. It's just
people have definitely turned, man. I mean, it must feel horrible for Gervonta, right? I mean, maybe not, I guess, because when you got money, right, some of this shit doesn't bother you. The things that we think bother them, they're like, man, fuck off,
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, it's like, but it's then when the everyone on Twitter gets it. Come on, Tank, fucking fight him. Come on, Tank. It's like trying to shut that shit down all day, every day. I mean, you don't even have to go on Twitter, I guess, but he seems to reply, and then he comes out and says, "Oh, I just want to fight," and then it's, "Oh, I've got 3 fights. I'm back in January." Then it's another one that looks like, oh, I don't know. Poor guy, man. I think he should.
Speaking of poor guys, man, and Eddie being boxing savior, I hope he picks up Juan Lopez versus Yuriorkis Gamboa. That's going to be slated for March. Gamboa took a stay busy fight, and so did Juan Lopez out in Hialeah or Miami over the weekend. They both got the wins, setting up the showdown that we were supposed to get, over 10 years ago, maybe, when they were both undefeated, both signed a Top Rank. This is what Top Rank does, FYI, for those that believe the shit that comes out of Bob's mouth. These are one of those Mayweather-Pacquiao fights that he really Mayweather-Pacquiao to the point of never being able to get it. Both Juanma and Gamboa did everything that promoters believe everything promoters tell us needs to be done before a fight could be made, right? It's like, no, you got to let it marinate. So, Juan would take a fight and then Gamboa would fight the same guy literally in the next fight or the fight after to have a gauge, right? Like they both fought Roger Matagua. They had a couple of common opponents, but every time out, Juan will look less and less skilled and more vulnerable. And then one day, Bob slid in a Mexican fighter because it's a typical rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico. It's so crazy how fast boxing changes, guys. I mean, you don't even understand. When Juan was at his peak, he was the Anthony Joshua of Puerto Rico for his small period of the highlight of his career. I mean, he was signed to Dodge. They would give him cards. All his, outfits would be done by Dodge. Most of his fights were in Puerto Rico, sold out. And Bob gets him, the fight you need. Mexico versus Puerto Rico in your hometown of Puerto Rico. And the guy with over 11 fights comes to your hometown and drags you.
Hey man.
Say all that again into the mic.
To Rob's point, why does Eddie have to be the one to come in and save the day for everybody? Buy the fight, get the fight. Who the fuck wants fucking Gamboa fight, bro? I don't want to see that shit.
Well, I guess that's because, again, you're casual 2.0. And I don't know why Rob would feel that way when that was Eddie who said that, right? Like, he says he's going to save U.S. boxing. Gamboa is a U.S. television fighter from day one. He's an Olympian, a gold medalist. And like I just went through the timeline, it's a fight that we missed.
Just so you know, Mike, that this whole thing kind of built up Mikey Garcia before he had his whole situation, because Orlando Salido, the Mikey Garcia, Lopez.
Salido upset Lopez twice in his hometown. Then Mikey got the win. So you only know Mikey because of Salido and Juanma, but you're just too much of a casual to know what you know.
No, remember last show, Rob, you like, why does Eddie have to come in and be the saber, and grab all the fights? I forgot what fight it was.
What he said he was gonna do.
I don't think Gamboa is gonna save U.S. boxing.
He said,
"Well, I don't think Top Rank's
going to take over U.S. boxing."
So Gamboa is gonna put them over the top.
Oh, wait a minute. So
what is going on?
Are you turning into a hypocrite? Because last time I checked, isn't that
I'm turning to you. Like, keep that same energy when you bring up Crawford.
Well, no, Mike, stop, Mike.
You need
to they just had top rank problems. Why would they go to ESPN first? That's eliminated right there off the bat.
Who's checking for Gamboa though? Are you checking for Gamboa when he fights?
No. Obviously, we're reporting on it, okay? We're reporting on it.
Were you watching Gamboa last night, or were you watching the elbow? Let me know.
You're bugging because last time Gamboa fought, he did. Last time he fought, he was on a Golden Boy card when it was like a robbery.
He lost.
Sosa.
He got a gift.
Yeah, a robbery.
He got gifted by Jason Sosa, but it was televised. I did want to watch that fight. Jason Sosa and Gamboa was interesting to watch.
I'm seeing last night.
Jason Sosa got robbed.
This is what I'm saying.
It wasn't, but here's the thing, Mike. Where was I going to watch it? It is not televised.
On YouTube.
Let me just say something, right? Like,
no,
here's the point I'm trying to make about not being biased. Like, we would otherwise. I don't get it. Like, this is a fight that people would complain that we're brushing over. So I guess let's just brush over it.
I'm just saying at this point, you can't bring up Gamboa if you don't like at this point, because if you're like, move on with Gamboa, you can't bring him up with Terrence
I'm just saying what Ness always said, like Gamboa, he was blown up from whatever, and Crawford beat him. Like, come on, bro, keep that same energy when you talk about Gamboa now.
Dog, you really need to like do the show in the mirror for 3 hours before live time. We're discussing Gamboa fighting at his natural weight. We're not discussing him moving up to fight a fucking welterweight Or
and it's an overdue fight. It's like this fight was supposed to happen.
It's a fight in his division, not a fight versus a guy outside of his division. It's not a handicap match, Mike.
Handicap match, okay.
And plus, this we were trying to explain the timeline, like the reason why they're trying to build like a Mayweather Pacquiao, like not 5 but 10 years later after they lost. This is not marination. This is mold. Like this is this. But
anybody checking for Gamboa, and shout out to the other guy he's fighting.
You don't even know the timeline.
It doesn't matter, Ron. The sad part is that if he was a little bit more open-minded, he would have embraced the conversation to strengthen Crawford. Like you're telling the audience, right? You're telling the audience that watches you every day, Dick Rod Crawford, hey, don't watch Crawford's best opposition. You're like silly as fuck, bro. You're silly. No, Hearn is. Hearn's done more in his career than Gamboa, right? Hearn has 2 gold medals, casual. Hearn has 2 gold medals, casual. Hearn has gone up 3 divisions or 2 divisions, casual. Get out of here, bro. You're silly, bro. You're making Crawford look bad because of your lack of knowledge. You need to step it up. Step it up. Step it up.
Well, another thing that happened over last week was this record-shattering fight, breaking 10-rounder between the Rooster and Soto Karass. I'm gonna just read the numbers real quick. So these guys had a 10-round fight. Granted, all these records were held, I believe, in 12-round fights. I'm not sure about the Antonio Margarito, but they scored a combination punches thrown 3,353 combined. Okay. The record was held in 1993, so they just broke that. The most punches landed, they broke that. That was in 2009. They landed a total of 1,119 combined punches. Granted, this is a 10-round fight. And Soto Karass. Now, I apologize to Danny because Danny was telling me Soto was going, these high numbers, which he never really did, but now he does. He beat Antonio Margarito's most punches thrown in a fight. That was in 2006. He's thrown 1,848 punches in 10 rounds. This was supposed to be like Nico's showcase fight. You know, he was supposed to come in and show the Rooster. But Soto Karass, his veteran skills, I mean, obviously we never thought Nico's defense was the greatest, but he went in there and he took that kid to school. And, man, the amount of punches in that fight, it wasn't the prettiest fight, but congratulations for breaking the records. Did you see the fight, Mike?
Oh, yeah, the fight after, like, the 6th round, it looked like they were fighting in, like, slow motion. Those guys were throwing punches, like, so slow. And, I mean, it was a fan-friendly fight, but at the same time, it was just, like, you hit me, I hit you, not much defense, just swing at each other and try to knock somebody out. But I don't have a power, and you don't have a power, so let's just keep hitting each other. That's how it went.
Soto Karass allegedly was supposed to say this was his end career fight. He was supposed to, and he's contemplating now, thinking maybe fighting again. But tremendous performance in a way where he was supposed to get smothered to death, and I just didn't think he was going to throw almost 2,000 punches. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, everyone knows that Tony Margarito in the past since volume punching. Granted, he had questionable punching power because of his raps, but in this case,
more unbiased for y'all ass. I ain't watched this shit. I believe y'all talking about this garbage.
It was no. This is fun. This is just fun, and this is a record breaking. It just broke records, man. You gotta appreciate it, regardless.
Rooster should never get a watch from anyone on this panel for losing to Karass.
I'm praising Soto Karass.
Don't get me wrong. Me too. Karass has a few upsets on his resume. He upset a few people. But damn, bro, as a prospect, getting Karass on his last fight and he upsets you, man, you need to go home and rethink that shit.
Yeah, give me Dave Allen any day.
Hurd is born. I watched the Dave Allen fight. I watched it.
In slow-mo or real time?
It was funny to me. I'm glad you fucking brought it up. It triggered that, that explosive memory. Boom. And I remembered that huge fucking blown up fucking heavyweight version of Marcos Maidana that Dave Allen was fighting. That was hella. I kept telling my girl, like, yo, I can't wait to talk about this tomorrow. This fake Marcos Maidana. Like, Eddie finds the best opponents, dude. This Argentinian came to fight at least, but oh my God, he was more out of shape than Dave Allen. But the fact that he was Argentine and he had the tattoo, I'm just like, yo, this is hilarious. It was funny to me. It was really funny how exhausted they were. Dave Allen is a fucking like, it's so weird, right? Because you got to love him for the balls, but it's like he's playing this dangerous game. He's just like slipping with his hands down. Sometimes he's taking shots at the top of the head purposely. But bro, he's a fighter. He's not a boxer. He's a fighter, bro. Like he'll take a huge one to land a right hand. He brings shots from awkward angles too. Like, yo, he and then his post fights are funny. His Instagram is funny. He's funny, but I still believe, especially now, because I watched him with those eyes since, you know, Rob made me put the UK hate eyes or goggles on. I watched him under the Cassius Chaney eyes, and it's like, hell no, Chaney sleeps that dude.
I don't know. I don't see Allen getting slept by him. Not at all.
No, you're right. You're right about that, because technically, Allen didn't even get slept by Luis Ortiz. He doesn't even get knocked out. So you might be right, but I bet you Allen definitely loses clearly to Chaney. Like, easy.
I don't know. He got clipped with a left hand. I know he got up on one, but you know, Allen with this, he kept looking in trouble, and then bang, this massive overhand right or left. And fuck it, it was hilarious when that big guy was on disco legs. And he was all over. He moonwalked the ring, and Allen was too fucked to chase him down.
Bro, that right hand split his nose. That was the nastiest shit. I can't. Like, that replay was crazy. It was like a faucet. That right hand landed, and then the gash was so wide. Oh, it was good, man. That fight was bloody. Like, if anybody likes blood, that shit got dirty.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, Dave Allen ain't never gonna be elite. He ain't ever gonna be fighting Joshua for the title. He's gonna get as far as he gets. But if he ever gets a gas tank, he could do a little bit, you know. But like I said,
why doesn't he take it serious or get with like a serious? Why he doesn't get with like a Cotwell or some shit?
I don't know. He keeps saying it. Eddie Hearn keeps giving these chances, and he's like, "Yeah, this time I'm going to take it seriously." But
I just think the last time he
in the fighters meeting going into that fight this weekend, and Eddie Hearn was like, "I can't believe I found out in the fighters meeting he hasn't really trained. He hasn't done any sparring."
I think the last time he took it serious, he was fighting Leroy Thomas, and it ended. Ended like a first round cut or something like that. So he was been like fuck it ever since. Like he just been like living on the edge and shit. I mean, and it's been entertaining, but at the same time, it's not something to like fucking live by. And Cassius Chaney would not sleep Dave Allen because Tony Yoka beat the shit out of Dave Allen, and he didn't put him down or like put him out.
Again, another fight. Allen was pretty out of shape, took it for short money, and it was a dangerous fight. This Tony Yoka, you know, he's pretty serious. And
Dave Allen will be on every single Matchroom card, regardless if he's serious or not. At this point, I feel like I see him every 2 months.
Yeah, he's a ticket seller. Look, he's suddenly just caught fire. That Nick Wegg knockout saved his career, really, because he was kind of, Eddie Hearn was almost like, yeah, I'm done with him. I'm not interested. But then he gave him that shot, and he done that massive knockout of Nick Webb, and it's just took off. And then yesterday, he always comes out to, you know, the Fields of Gold, and then it was Stone Cold Steve Austin music.
Oh, that was classic.
The glass smashed, and it's Stone Cold Steve Austin coming to the ring, and the crowd were, you know, each time he fights, he's undercard, and then there's like just the crowd seems to start filling out once they know Allen's coming out. It starts filling out, and the rest of the cards all good to go. You know, more people are watching. Some of the undercard is good.
Bro, that Stone Cold shit had me feeling like a 12-year-old kid again.
Yeah, I mean the fight before that he fought on, he came out same Field of Gold, but it was Shawn Michaels.
Sweet Sham Music,
sexy boy. He came out to that, so he's cashing in when he can, I think.
That's a smart guy, man. Smart guy, good marketer, and good business, man. I just hope that like he can get like
be taking it seriously, buddy, because you know you're speaking of all the success that he's having. not taking it serious. Imagine if he would at least get a bigger fight with a bigger check. Maybe he wouldn't win, but he would be in a better position. You could truly call him smart. He's not capitalizing. He could be in a way better position if just by switching trainers, bro. Just maybe hiring a trainer. Who knows who the fuck is training that guy?
I mean, to like get your name out there like that, I mean, you can be dumb. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, I think anyone that isn't capitalizing on their full potential is dumb. That's just it, bro. You're underselling yourself or undercutting, whatever the term is. You know, like he has marketability, like you're saying. So imagine if he took it serious. But it's time to open up these phone lines. Let's do it. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Add Nestor Gibbs on Skype, NESTORGIBBS.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to the sunny state of California, because there ain't no show.
Mr. Info Joe.
Tell the truth, yo. Tell the truth. This portion of the show we call In the Know, presented by my brother. Tell the truth, yo. Tell the truth.
Some brothers. What's up to everybody on the panel, man? Everybody listening, everybody in the chat. TBV is where it's at. What's up?
How you doing, Joe?
What up, baby?
What's up, my brothers? Hey, man, first off, shout out to Brandon Adams, man, winning the Contender championship, man. Brandon Adams, straight out of Wach. It's one of the roughest, toughest neighborhoods to grow up in L.A. I hope Brandon goes on to do bigger and better things to inspire the kids in Wach. To get out them streets gang banging and get into that boxing gym, man. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Brandon, the cannon. Yo, Usyk and Bellew, man, very entertaining fight, man. Shout out to the only undisputed boxer in all of champion in all of boxing, man. I heard yesterday on the show he was getting a whole lot of hate saying that he was overrated. Blah, blah, blah. I knew this fight would be competitive. Tony Bellew ain't no bum. Shout out to Usyk making the right adjustment. I like him because he's a good boxer and he thinks and he can make adjustments on the fly in the fight. As far as him going up, I would test the waters first. I wouldn't shoot at anybody in the top 5. I would like to see him against maybe a Takam, Brian Jennings, or maybe even a Parker because they're more the smaller of the heavyweights. I seen the Gamboa fight today on YouTube, man. This is the best he has looked in his last 3 fights. I'm talking about as far as being in shape. He didn't get tired out like he normally does in the rest of his fights that we had seen. And for him to be off for almost a year, he looked pretty good, man. I'm glad to see him back. I got a question, man. When you undisputed, man, you pay sanctioning fees to all 4 belts. Does that dip a whole lot in your pocket? Is it worth holding on to?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, take out your money. Everybody want their percent. But some of these champions, who big champions like Joshua Wilder, they got fixed fees.
Damn. Yeah, because I was thinking, man, he might as well just stay and defend that cruiserweight for a while. But if if it's here in his pockets, shit, fucking move up and challenge yourself.
Yo, Wilder said every time he fight is like 40 grand. That's crazy. That's somebody's yearly salary, B.
Oh yeah, I would drop those belts, man. Go ahead, fucking go up to heavyweight. I don't know how well he would do with the upper echelon of the heavyweights because I don't know if he can take a punch from those bigger guys. But I would test him out with a Takam or Brian Jennings, man. Brian Jennings ain't no big puncher to me. But that's my call, brothers. Yo, what's up with Monster Peace, man? I missed the first lady of TBV, man.
Joe, thanks for calling in. And Monster Ben stepped back, bruh. She said she had some, health issues she needed to tend to. But she calls in from time to time. We're going to go out to South Florida. Looks like we got a first-time caller. Maybe first time actually getting on. I've seen this number before. 561. Ready to talk?
Yeah. What's up?
What's up? First time caller, right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
What's your name? Where you calling from, brother?
Yeah, this Steph. Yeah, man, this Steph, man. I'm calling from Palm Beach County, man.
Tim?
And, I watch our shows all the time, man. And I just want to say what's up to the whole panel. And I really appreciate the shit that y'all be doing for boxing, man.
Oh man, thank you. You said Tim, right?
No, Tef. T-E-F.
Oh, Tef. All right, T-E-F. T-E-F. No problem, Tef. Yeah. So talk to us, brother.
Man, I just want to say, man, what I saw from that Bellew and Usyk fight, man. I don't think Usyk can really, because if he took one of those punches that Bellew gave him from like Wilder or even Joshua, man, it's gonna be lights out. I just don't think he's big enough to fight them boys in the heavyweight division, not them top two, especially. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. You know what I mean? But one love, man. Y'all boys keep it up.
Well, thank you, brother. Thank you for calling in, Tev. We're going out to Gary in Dallas. Talk to us. Or Texas, somewhere in Texas.
What's going on, TBV?
What up, Gary?
What's going on, fellas? Yo, Rob, did you see your boy Crolla yesterday? He looked great. Why aren't you talking about him? You say he never give any of the UK fighters any love. I thought Crolla looked great. How about you?
Great. Yeah, he was very businesslike. I thought he looked good. I mean, I didn't think the opponent was. He was pretty mad basic, and but he looked like a tough guy. But I thought Crolla did a professional job. I know Nez is waiting to jump in and say some shit.
I am waiting to jump in. Great. If great means leaning your head forward on the next man's fucking head or chest and just throwing punches. Yeah, he looked great.
Lots of combination, body up to the head, back down to the body, sidestepping the, maneuvering his opponent. Yeah.
Anybody that has to, like, that's like a lunch pail fighter. Like, you just, you come to work and you punch in, he puts his head down, he just throws punches. Like, you need more than that to beat Loma, bro. But whatever, if that's great, we got low standards and we are all very biased.
He's just gonna hate, right? Like you're just gonna hate no matter what. I mean,
I'm just saying, like,
I'm not saying he's gonna beat Loma.
No, but let's just be consistent. Let's be consistent. Like, you got guys like Mike saying don't watch Gamboa, who's a 2-time gold medalist, and you got guys like you saying that Usyk would beat Wilder, yet you're calling in saying Crolla looked great.
Crolla. It rhymes with dollar. Crolla.
Only thing it rhymes with is Toyota.
No, it don't.
Did you hear that contradiction? Oh, that was great. Like, isn't Usyk a gold medalist?
He sure is.
What color did?
That's why we're talking about Usyk.
What color medal did?
Win the gold medal.
We're not talking about Crolla. The guy that I want Usyk to challenge.
The bronze bomber, that one?
Yeah.
So he was better than him then, and he's better than him now, right? He could beat him then. I know he didn't have to fight him because he didn't get that far, but he would have beat him then, and he beat him now. Right?
Gary, all I'm going to tell you is FanDuel would accept your money, and so will I.
Oh, yeah, me too, Gary. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and make that bet,
yeah, of course you don't bet. Of course you don't bet. Listen, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. I don't want to break up happy homes. We could easily make our bet be shaving. We could just take all your hair.
It's all right, Gary, because halfway through the fight, if Usyk's looking good, he might change his bet.
That's true.
Yeah, no, that's not a bet. That's taking money. That's an easy investment. That's like buying Apple in the 80s.
Well,
I'll take Usyk to beat Wilder all day.
Well, you should lay it down. Lay it down now. You can lay. You can lay it down now. You can easily say, Ness, whenever it happens, we got a shave bet. I'll shave all my hair. Whatever.
I want eyebrows and everything.
Yeah, give me your eyebrows. You're gonna go to work looking like a serial fucking killer. Unabomber, you're gonna look like, motherfucker, just because you want to bet against Wilder, you silly Billy.
Gary, you're gonna
Dominic in Seattle. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Gary, you need to bet with him. He's got to grow his hair.
Yo, laugh all you want, but if I let my hair grow, you're gonna be feeling very lonely.
Why?
Because I got no spot, homie. I got a full head of hair, motherfucker. That's why.
But you to say we'll have a shave your head bet. You shave your fucking head anyway. Fuck.
Exactly.
So great bet.
All right.
That's why I went to my button.
What up, Dominic?
What's good? What's up, Mike? What's up, Ness, Rob, Ron?
Hello.
Dominic.
I got a question for Rob.
Always coming at Rob.
It's all right. He's usually high as fuck and don't know what's going on.
Respect question.
Oh, a respect question.
I like Usyk. No, this is like I'm not gonna come at him sideways. I'm not gonna come at his T. So Usyk, I like Usyk. I think Usyk, since everybody's talking about he can't take a punch or something because if he moves at the heavyweight, don't you think, Rob, that he should fight fucking Ortiz? I mean, I think that'd be a beautiful fight. I mean, since in UK Ortiz is a bum, and why not Usyk fight Ortiz if he moves up? What do you think, Rob?
Yo, Dominic's reverse psychology, Rob. Come on, I know you're falling for this. I mean, you're not falling for this shit, right, Rob? Be careful how you answer. He's sandbagging you. He's sandbagging you. Reverse psychology 101.
It's all right. I don't care.
No,
it's a good fight. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. If rumors are maybe true or whatever, Ortiz is going to be on Matchroom's book. So, yeah, I'd like to see the fight. There's lots of fights.
I'm going to say it right now.
I think it would be beautiful.
I'm going to say it right now, Dominic. Ortiz does not have the feet to beat Usyk.
Hey, but if he doesn't, then put it up. Put your money up.
I will. He don't got the feet.
You said the same thing about Errol Spence and motherfucking Garcia. So everything doesn't happen when you say it. So obviously it does happen when you don't think.
But what do you mean? What do you mean?
I think Ortiz,
wait, Dominic, you've been calling in for weeks. Hold on a minute, because I gotta bust your bubble here, brother. You've been calling in for fucking weeks, acting like, yo, Ness, you see, I told you that. Motherfucker, where is that fight official? Show me. Show me where it says Earl Spence. No. No, let's be clear. Let's be clear with the people. Let's be clear with the people because you like to come in here lying. You keep making it seem like Earl Spence and Mikey is happening, and you're right.
The hair off your head. How much do you want to bet?
Man, whatever, bro. I'm afraid to take that bet, to be honest. I'm afraid to take that bet, but I mean, the honest truth is that fight isn't official.
Scared money doesn't make money because you didn't make it yesterday. So
I didn't. I fucking didn't, bro. I didn't. But that's Bruce's fault.
500.
Fucking Bruce's fault.
Me and you. It's real deal.
Yeah, 500 that motherfucking Usyk beats Ortiz.
No, 500 that Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia doesn't happen. That's the main conversation.
Doesn't happen. Hell no, I'm not saying that. Bye-bye. Kevin in Chicago.
What's up, guys?
What up?
Did you see that scorecard for the knockout? Man, they were going to rob Usyk if he didn't get that knockout. Just like they robbed BGG and just like they robbed Deverchenko. And just like they were going to rob Lomachenko.
Nice.
Kevin is consistent.
Just like they were going to rob Lomachenko if he didn't finish his last fight. If he didn't knock out I forgot his name. The other dude. He was clearly outclassing him. And they were going to rob Lomachenko if he didn't get the knockout, man. These Eastern European fighters, they got to do everything and more to get that win. Otherwise, they're just going to rob them. Because that's how it is. It's all money and politics in boxing. Real corrupt sport.
So only Eastern Europeans?
The most corrupt sport out there. Not even close.
Only Eastern Europeans get robbed?
What the fuck was that?
That's it's definitely a bias against them. Clear bias against them. They're going to rob. They're going to give it to the hometown guy in Bellew. It's all about money, and I guess not a lot of Eastern Europeans got that kind of money and pay-per-view power. So it's big geared towards Mexicans and African Americans.
Hey, bro, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I bet $500,000 you voted for Trump. I mean, you voted for Trump, but that's beside the point.
Sure
No, that's
is.
just the facts. Boxing is a corrupt sport.
That's true.
Very corrupt sport.
Agreed.
If it's a close rounds, they're gonna give it to the big cash draw, and that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is. If it's a close round and it can be debated and go this way and that way, it's not gonna go give it to Usyk. They're not gonna give it to Lomachenko. They're not gonna give it to Triple G. They're gonna give it to fucking whoever their opponent is, whoever they can make a name off them. That's just the way it is, man. You guys don't like to hear it, but it is not. Just because you think I voted for Trump or something, that ain't got shit to do with it. That's just fucking boxing is corrupt as it gets. Bunch of dirty promoters and just a really dirty sport. That's why I like amateur wrestling, because it's such a base, clean sport. The best man wins every time. There's no politics involved. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I never.
Man, I do. That wasn't me that thinks you voted for Trump.
I ain't watching boxing ever.
Oh, that's me all day, and he confirmed it.
I'm done with boxing. I ain't watching it.
They were gonna rob that dude if he didn't knock him out. They were gonna rob Usyk if he didn't finish him. Some dude hit him on 3 rounds.
I think Usyk was losing.
3 rounds?
No.
How the hell are you gonna give the Bellew up 3 rounds?
I had 5-2 all day.
Third. I had Usyk clearly ahead.
Kevin, gracias. Thanks for calling in. Anthony, Queen City Cobra, Cincinnati, stand up. Anthony Edwards, going once.
2 side orders of crow for me and Anthony, please.
Going twice. Gone.
Oh, he didn't want his crow?
We'll give it to him on the way out.
Duck, goose.
Whenever I find it.
It's just
Jeremy in Tampa, stand up.
Hey, what's going on with y'all, man?
What up?
Not much. I just wanted to chime in on the whole Usyk and Bellew. I was pretty confident that Usyk was gonna stop him. I thought he'd outclass him a lot more than what he did, but I was still impressed with how he got rid of him. And then I also think that Bellew was given a lot of credit for just surviving. And I just rolled my eyes so many times during the broadcast because they were like, Bellew was doing some masterful boxing, but really he was just on the back foot, every now and then he'll try to lunge in with a right hand or something, but I didn't really see much. So I don't know how people giving, even the first round, literally nothing of note happened on either side, and people were like, oh, that's a clear Bellew round. It was crazy to me. Because he did what?
He landed a couple of punches. That was about it. That was it.
And Usyk landed nothing.
I didn't see anything. All I seen was Usyk feigning a lot, and I seen Bellew missing right hand trying to time him, and I just didn't see anything. But anyway, I think Usyk will be just fine in the heavyweight division. And then I hear how people saying, oh, he take a right hand from Wilder or Joshua, it's gonna be good night. A lot of people took right hands from these guys. People take right hands from Wilder and don't get knocked out immediately. 9 times out of 10, Wilder looked like shit for 7-8 rounds until he lands a home run. So I just think Usyk will be fine, and I'd like to see him go against somebody like Kovnowski or even Charles Martin. I know he on the PBC side, but I don't think he really is a valuable asset over there. So they'll probably let him go and make a fight if it's financially viable for him. So yeah, that's all I got.
Jeremy in Tampa, thanks for calling in. Really quick, just want to shine some love and light on UK Part-Timer is the title of the 5-star review on iTunes. You can drop us a 5-star review on iTunes by heading over to iTunes and dropping us a 5-star review. If you have an iPhone, it's very simple. You just open up the iTunes app or the podcast app, search The Boxing Voice, and drop us a 5-star review. So this one comes from Ghost793. And it's from the UK. So stand up. He gave us a 5-star review, which we typically don't get 5-star reviews from the UK. So thank you so much for your review. He says, great show on hot topics. Ha. Laugh out loud when Ness gets riled up, but it's all love. He's a fair guy if you got good points to make. And most of the time, AJ is going to smash your boy. Ha. So thanks for the review. I'll take that. And I can't wait for that fight. I keep saying it. And we got another one from Ace, also in the UK. The title is Ace. And this one is from Physique in the UK. And 5-star review as well. And he says, great podcast, daily shenanigans. Mike's interviews are the best kept secret on YouTube. Mike, let me find out you already knew that. That's why you like not even reacting, or is your
you know how it goes, bro. You don't put your own home when somebody else will do it for you.
We got some strong shit this side of the pond as well.
Shout out to Rob for keeping it always funny at all times.
Let me see what we got. We're going to Oliver in Bermuda. Bahama, come on, pretty mama.
How's everyone?
Good.
Look, where's Doomsday?
Doomsday's on. He's on a hiatus. Call him Duck Day these days.
Man, to be fair, Doomy do be in the chat heavy. He be in the chat heavy, but he don't be on the show heavy.
No, I feel like that's even worse. How you on the chat when you ain't on the show?
Chat guy Doomy.
He's in it right now, chatting, laughing.
Have a little check behind a 230-pound rock.
Fury beating Wilder. So we made a bet. I was trying to bet him some money, but he didn't want to bet any money. So we bet 500 push-ups. So I'm putting him on blast, and his ass has to come on the show and speak on it after Wilder knocks Fury the fuck out.
Call him Duck Goose.
500 press-ups.
Yeah, Duck Day.
He gonna die. You try to make him do 500 push-ups.
Will you take those 500 press-ups in installments?
Over 6 months?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be in installments, to be honest with you. I don't think anyone could do 500 straight push-ups. You're gonna have to been working out forever to do 500 straight push-ups.
Or been in gym forever.
It has to be in a day. It has to be in a day. So you could do like 10 sets of 50, or 20 sets of 25, whatever. I don't care. Rob,
sounds painful.
I mean, not 25 though, because like you can bust 25 out and then like go do something, then bust 25 out. Like I wonder, like if he could like text Doomy and like bust him out now, like via like call or something.
25 every 30 minutes.
I mean, I didn't bet the guy. I don't care.
But I wanted to bet money, but he wasn't interested. I understand.
Doomy smart.
Push-ups, but just come on the show.
Of course, he don't want to bet no money because he making a fake bet. He don't really think Fury gonna win. That's why he ain't betting no money. You see, Rob really thought Bellew was gonna win. He put money on all the fucking round. He thought he was gonna win. Doomy just talking shit.
Okay.
And ducking.
Yeah. Well, I won't argue with that. And for everyone talking shit about Usyk can beat this and that heavyweight, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but at the end of the day, I don't see him touching Fury. I don't see him touching AJ. I sure as hell don't see him lasting with Wilder. But I wouldn't mind seeing it. But if he really wants it, I would like for him to really start calling out Ward. I feel like if he puts the heat on Ward will respond if his name comes out of his mouth often enough. I think that is his nature. He is competitive, and he says he still wants to get back in, but it has to be worth it. So a unified opportunity, I think, and for the money being right, I think Ward would come back. So I would be more interested in seeing that before any heavyweights, and that's my call.
Can Usyk
don't ask that doomy question. Tell him get on the show and ask that shit himself. Beat it.
I ain't asking do me shit. I was gonna ask, can Usyk survive against Big Baby Miller, Big Billy Miller?
Hell no. Yo, Big Baby. I can't wait to go ask Big Baby this shit because I know he gonna eat them little White Castle jabs that Usyk be throwing.
White Castle jabs.
And straight.
Do it.
Oh my God, you still doing messages for Doomsday, not on the show ass. Get out of here. Tell Doomsday
have him call in.
Exactly. Tell him call in. He can't even call in. Get out of here. We're going out to New Orleans, Nolia stand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
Yeah.
And
What's good, bro? I see we got a lot of life on the show tonight, bro. I like when we got a little action, you know what I'm saying? Ain't none of that dead ass shit, bro. People calling, sound like they got a fucking sock in their mouth and shit, you heard me? That's what I'm talking about, you dig? Real boxing talk with real boxing fan. What's happening, man? You heard me? You're talking about this Bellew fight and shit, huh? You dig? Still a topic, huh, bro?
I mean, it is Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, all right, yeah, you're right. Sunday crew, D. You right, Sunday crew, D. And you know what I'm saying? No crew for me once again. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll be on my boxing shit heavy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, Usyk did his thing, bro. I mean, see, I don't sound like the head, but who Bellew be like this shit still going on, like who? I mean, I'm not trying to down him. He cool. I like his attitude. I like how he talk about boxing, bro. I like how he represent his country, where he's from. You know what I'm saying? He a real stand-up guy, and if he feel like he can't beat somebody, he gonna let you know. If he feel like he want to challenge himself and go for the goal, you know what I'm saying? He gonna let you know that too. But I mean, bro, all right, he beat this dude and people acting like this dude an all-time great now or something like it, dig? I mean, I like Usyk, bro. You dig? And he knocked out Bellew. I still don't believe in his power. You know what I'm saying? You got to get in there one of them heavyweights and start knocking them on the ass, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I keep saying, I don't want to repeat myself, but I saw the dude fight Joe Joyce, man. He hit this dude with about 200 punches. This dude still was there, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, all that's cool, but is you going to be able to do that with the big boys? You understand? And, man, shit, bro, why y'all ain't talking about the Eubank Jr. fight, man, and homie, you dig? Like, what's happening with that next, bro?
They my boy Eubank Jr. They call him a fraud.
Well, because, you know, Mike said he don't like fights that are old and expire. So like Chris Eubank and James DeGale was supposed to fight years ago.
Boy, please get out of here.
And when James DeGale was good, hold on, casual Mike. Hold on, casual Mike. Come on, neither one of them boys, Pacquiao or Mayweather. They ain't even Pacquiao Mayweather's shadow.
All right, look. You watch the Conor Brooks fight? You watch the Conor Brooks fight?
Who? Con is 5 mile an hour wind away from a knockout. Get out of here. Fuck about Con.
That's still a fight you watch.
Do I look like do I look like a UK resident to be giving a fuck about Con and his stupid twisted up mustache?
You said a 5 mile.
I keep hearing about Conor Brooks. That's all I be hearing, Conor Brooks.
Yeah, like, you hear about that shit. You hear about that shit. Listen, NL, you hear about that shit because we're an international show. You don't hear no fucking Americans calling talking about Con Brooks.
Oh my God, said a 5 mile per hour wind away from a fucking knockout. Man, come on.
Bro, there is no
good one right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
There's no American calling in talking about, yo, man, word is born, Khan, Brooke, that shit needs to happen. Like, we don't give a fuck about that shit. Everybody know Khan's is fake. Like, oh no, he got skills. He fast, bro. He would have gave Mayweather a go till he got fucking breathed on. The minute he get a little bit of breath on his chin, he fall apart, man.
Why was everybody so shocked that
That's why I'm mad at Mike. Let's just put it right back on Mike. That's why I'm mad at Mike, because Mike like, oh yeah, Crawford Khan. It's like, dog, that's a fraud fight. It's a fraud fight.
It is what it is. But look at why was everybody so surprised about Amir Khan still being with his wife? Man, that shit was all over the fucking internet and everything.
Because the rumor was AJ banged the brains out. What the fuck? Where you at, casual Mike?
Y'all didn't hear like Amir Khan like come back out and say, hey, I was wrong. That I mean, it wasn't towards AJ. I mean, it wasn't my fault, my bad. Like,
you obviously ain't follow that story,
bro.
Man, there was tweets and texts. It was all different information, bro. There was, man.
Khan came back out like a couple days later.
This is the only thing that I do not believe at all that AJ banged her.
Me either.
But I believe that there was some infidelity or some adultery or some fucking unloyal unfaithfulness going. Hell yeah. You seen all the tweets, man. You must ain't see Farrakhan tweets, huh?
I seen the tweets, but Khan was also doing some shit too, though.
We all know Khan is a celebrity. He ain't supposed to.
His wife fine than a motherfucker, so she gonna get some shit too.
Why type when you can Skype?
Yeah, right.
Damn, that's a good one right there, Rob. No
George in New York, hollers.
Hey, what's up, TBV? Hello to the panel. I was watching the Oleksandr Usyk. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go man.
Oh no, you're here. I heard the thing. So I was gonna give thoughts just on Usyk and Bellew. I thought Usyk looked really good. I knew Bellew was going to be a tough opponent because he was a WBC cruiserweight champ, and he gave Haig a pretty good fight. I think Usyk could actually do some damage at heavyweight. I would personally love to see him fight Joseph Parker. I know Parker's got a fight coming up against like a basic nobody just to get his feet wet again, and Usyk's taking some time off.
Wait, isn't he fighting Junior Fa?
No, he's not. No, he's not fighting Junior Fa next. He's fighting. I don't remember his name. He's like ranked way, way down the heavyweight line. It's not Junior Fa. I thought Junior Fa was in with Wilder's training camp right now. He's not.
Yeah,
he's not
I thought he was in it.
Though.
I thought he was in the training camp for two reasons, because he was giving work and getting work. I'm gonna double check though.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say no. I'm pretty sure Joseph Parker said he wanted to get a knockout, and he's fighting somebody who's ranked like 56 or something, just because he wants to get his feet wet. But
he's fighting Alexander
Usyk and Parker.
Alexander Flores. He's fighting
like a domestic fight.
At least he's American. Sheesh.
I mean, I think it's just he's picking somebody. He needs a tune-up fight. He just came off of 2 losses. I'll give it to Parker. But I think with Usyk, like they might be ready about the same time to fight each other, because Parker, I always felt, has really fast hands. He's got good footwork, but he's got pillows for hands at heavyweight. Like, he never really. I saw him fight. I saw him fight Razvan Kojanu. He went 12 rounds with the guy. The guy was just like smiling at him in the 12th round. And Usyk is coming up to heavyweight. I think he could do a lot of damage at heavyweight, but I still think he should kind of, not jump feet first in going after Joshua or Wilder or anything. Or I'd even respectfully disagree with you with Ortiz. I think Ortiz is too big a puncher for Usyk just to come in it that way. I think Parker would be a great fight because they're both really skillful. But at the same time,
the reason I'm picking him to beat
like
Ortiz is because I feel his feet will keep him away out of the danger. Like
and Joseph almost knocked out Dylan.
I agree with you. He's like a 200-pound Lomachenko. I agree with you. I think he's got really, really good footwork. Ortiz just kind of jumps in with his right foot and he like leaps forward to get that left hand a lot of times. So I feel like if he did catch him, I think people forget, like, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think Ortiz is one of the biggest punchers in heavyweight boxing. I think Wilder's the hardest puncher. Joshua's got some strong punches, but I think Ortiz slams people. Like, when he hits people, they're done. Like, I mean, that's why I think Wilder's chin is like really battle tested now, because I've always said Wilder. That's it for me.
Yeah.
George, man, excellent call, brother. Thank you for continuing to call in. We got you all safe, so you know you're always going to get the respect you deserve. That was a great call. Enjoyed it. Rob?
No, it was a great call. It got you to look at who Parker's fighting, and you said, well, at least he's an American. Fuck it.
Yo, let me tell you about that. I'm glad you went back there. I know that did come out all wrong, because I don't know who the fuck is Oleksandr Flores, but this is what I love about BoxRec. And even though I didn't get into the conversation / debate between you and Casual, I kind of agree with Casual. BoxRec is a very useful tool for a casual fan to tell a story, but that story isn't always as transparent as BoxRec makes it out to be. So I don't know Oleksandr Flores at all. But after a Google search, get ready for this. So he's going to be facing Joseph Parker, but he has common opponents with Deontay Wilder in Harold Skandas. He knocked him out. The same guy that dropped Deontay Wilder. Then he has common opponent with Anthony Joshua in Charles Martin, who he lost to by KO. And the other notable name that I see that probably isn't notable to most would be Gibson, which is a sparring partner I know in the heavyweight division. And that is about it that I can see off first glance. He seems to be a California resident. So he's like one of those, local boys that gave it a shot. Again, when he got the win over Skandas, I guess, and he made it 4 rounds with Martin. So I don't know what he's gonna bring to the table. Never, ever heard of him. But he's 28 years old.
But at least he's an American, so it looks a little
like
bit.
I said, it came out wrong. Get out of here.
No. But yeah, I think the junior fight or whatever fight is just something they're planning down the line.
But that is the difference, though, in what I meant, though. Like had this been an Eastern European that Joseph Parker was tuning up with, the resume wouldn't be as familiar. I'm just keeping it real. So there's less interest, dude. Like when these guys are fight, like look at Big Baby right now. Eddie is like, yeah, we're taking over boxing and we're gonna raise the profiles, and these promoters don't know what to do. But like Jacobs, we ain't even gonna go down that route. But Big Baby's in a fight that, and I love Big Baby. Like, that's my man. I'm wasting money every day to go to another state to view him and interview him and be with his team, right? It's like, but who the fuck is Bogdan? And
Joshua's sparring partner.
Who?
Joshua's sparring partner.
Bogdan Dinu.
Oh, he was? He's always been, or is this for this fight?
He's been in camp a lot, I think.
Oh, this is the first I hear you tell us that.
Yeah. No, Eddie said it in an interview. He said we've
so this is an Eddie Hearn quote.
Eddie Hearn is
it's false then. All right, okay.
No, we're not saying that. We're just saying
I'm saying it sarcastically because most of the sheep repeat Eddie Hearn stuff.
Rob's not a sheep.
It's just a source of information.
So I've looked up Bogdan Dinu. This is what I'm saying. Rob, this is what I'm saying. Can you pull it up? And Ron and Mike, everyone, just let's pull up Bogdan Dinu, so there's no bias of me just pulling it up and saying, yo, I don't know these dudes. But look, Bogdan did fight Avery. And the other dude that we're talking about who's going to fight Joseph Parker had a draw with Avery Gibson, which is a sparring partner of Deontay Wilder. Bogdan went a unanimous decision 6 rounds with Avery Gibson. Does anyone else see a name that sticks out that you've actually watched fight?
Not off the top of my head, but I do recall that Bogdan is trained by Mustafa
Muhammad? Eddie Mustafa Muhammad from Las Vegas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you see, and this is how we build interest, bro. Again, hold on one moment, Ron, because I just want to tie it together. Remember earlier I said that other heavyweight, or excuse me, light heavyweight, whatever, with Briedis, I didn't know the opponent, but all of a sudden I look in the corner, boom, there's a correlation, which draws me in, which was Pedro Diaz. Now he's telling me Bogdan Dinu, I don't know him, but he's trained by Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. Now there's intrigue. Okay, a world-class trainer has interest. What does this guy have, if anything? So all I'm saying, it's not always, oh, put that guy down or put the UK. Dog, we teach each other. I can't know every fucking body. Like this division alone in the heavyweight has 1,215 heavyweights. Like this is impossible for me to know all these fuckers.
To be honest, I think I remember this guy. I read an article a long time ago. I think he was banned in the amateurs. I'm looking it up right now. I think he was banned in amateurs before for shoplifting. But I think he also fought Derek Chisora. But that's the, or he had someone he fought that fought Derek Chisora. That's what it was. I have to do a little bit more research. But no, not too familiar with a lot of opponents.
He's from Romania. I mean, last good fighter I remember from Romania is Lucian Bute. You know, I believe Razvan Kajanu, the heavyweight, is also possibly from Romania. Not sure. So, Rob, do you know anything on his resume? Anybody that sticks out that you might have seen on the UK circuit?
No, nothing's really jumping out.
Well, you know what? Maybe Canadian Jose, because he's got a bunch of
a lot of fights in Canada, right?
Yeah, a lot of fights in Canada, and then everything else is Romania. This is his first U.S. debut. This would be his U.S. debut. Everything is Canada and Romania.
I'm looking for the Russian McGregor.
That Marcelo guy has a lot of common opponents, though.
Damn, bro, this is number 60. You see what I'm saying? Like, people say I am biased. No, it is the world. The boxing media is biased. When Danny fought Rod Salka, Salka was what, 72? He was shamed. He was like, oh my God. Meanwhile, Big Baby's in like an eliminator. His next bout's for, this is a WBA, right? Like, oh, it's not, it doesn't have it on BoxRec that it's for the WBA, but I'm sure by the time this fight happens, it'll be for that WBA regular versus a 60 ranked opponent. And Danny was fucking put through the ringer for fighting Salka. Salka is known because he fought Danny and was shamed of it. Meanwhile, Bogdan Dinu gets an okay. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of this shit. Like every once in a while, I find one of his opponents had someone against somebody. But,
oh, you're going individual. Yeah, none of those names jump out for me to even click the button.
So a lot of these guys I've seen, like they fought like Chisora or Takam.
Oh yeah, okay, at least like, common opponents. In the meantime, let me jump out to our mastermind, Javier. What it do?
Yo, what's up? Hey man, y'all think what cup you think Usyk gonna get a few cupcakes before he actually fight competition at heavyweight? Or you think he gonna go straight into a
nah,
big
man,
fight?
He got Antonelli as a trainer. He got, Vasily as a best friend. Them dudes are not here to play games. He like Vasil's only fighting Pedraza because of the belt. Like, there's a unification. There's an opportunity to make history. Those dudes only do big fights.
So he going straight to the top. Okay, Big Baby I think will be a good fight, but I don't know. Big Baby, for a big man. Big Baby got a lot of output in fights. So, Big Baby gonna test him off the rip if you fought Big Baby. Because, that's a big motherfucker for a cruiserweight to come up to. 300, how much was Big Baby last fight? Like 320 something?
317.
317, yep.
That was weigh-in day. He probably skipped breakfast that day.
Just think about, like, if he fights somebody like a Big Baby who are skilled, huge, he ain't big, Big Baby huge. Just all that weight just pressing on you the whole fight. He ain't never felt nothing like that before in a fight. 317 pounds just going at you all fight, and Big Baby Big Baby keep coming. He gonna keep swinging. This motherfucker swing. He swing a lot for a big man. And I mean, shit, Joshua and Wilder and them types, I mean, he ain't never felt no power like that. So usually gonna get tested. Cause I mean, he gonna get hit. I don't care what nobody say. He gonna get hit. And it's the question of, can he take that power? Cause that shit gonna be real up there heavyweight. Ain't no playing around. Cause shit, he was struggling with Bellew at the start of the fight, to be honest. So I mean, hey, we gonna see what he got. I don't think he ready for that heavyweight action. Cause shit, these some of the most skilled heavyweights there is. AJ, Fury, Wilder. I mean, all of them got something that's gonna bring something special to the table. And it's the question of, can Usyk handle it? And I don't think he can. It's cool when you whooping cruiserweights, but I mean, when you get up to heavyweight, you better be ready for what's coming. And I don't think you're ready, to be honest.
Let me ask y'all a real quick question, real quick. Even if Tyson Fury loses, it's fucking BT. But let's just take BT and Sky out of it. Even if Tyson Fury loses, how big would a fight between Fury and Usyk be? If you're Usyk, you're looking like, as a guy that doesn't have like that big knockout power, but it does have skill.
It depends on Tyson Fury looks. Like if he looks like straight up shit, like horrible, to the point where it's just like he doesn't belong in there.
What if he gets knocked out second round by right hand? I mean, everybody gets knocked out by Wilder.
One round and he gets massacred in the second round. It varies. I mean, if he goes and looks very well competitive, maybe, you know, it just really depends on how you look in the fight, I think.
Question is, do anybody want to see that though? Because them two motherfuckers, neither, I mean, he knocked out Bellew, but neither one of them really got power. To be
But you can build it up over in the UK as a big fight. They'll buy anything.
You're right. They'll watch it. I'll agree with that.
I mean, anything happens. I don't think people expected Usyk to stop Tony Bellew, at least in that fashion. At least I didn't.
True.
Yeah, Tony looked like he hit with a poison dart. That shit was bad. I said, damn, Tony, it's over with. Hey, man, but that's my call.
Great call, buddy. Great call.
Thanks for calling in, Javier.
Javier, like, damn, dude sound familiar as fuck.
What? You serious?
I had my headphones off.
You didn't even know it's Javi?
What? Do you still hear the thing over there?
Over where?
Yourself or something? The echo you was talking about? No?
Me?
Yeah, remember when you was here, you said you heard the echo when you was hooking up?
Over at your house?
Yes.
No, I don't hear the echo now, but I was in the next
headphones off because of that. That's what I was thinking.
Oh no.
So I was thinking, should we go back to Wilder's, right? You know, big fight. Should I go check another camp out, see another set of sparring partners? I've posted a Ask Deontay Wilder post on patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. You can head on over to patreon.com and check us out. Support us on Patreon, obviously. Those funds are always used for, you know, camp lives, etc., to bring you the best content available. And while you're there, there's a few untitled episodes that we've done and a overtime. And yeah, definitely some Ask Ronnie Shields that we are going to be having Shields on the show this coming week. And Ask Deontay Wilder and a few others. So head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. And I want to send a shout out to our new Patreon from today, Kelly Thompson. Shout out for signing up. Hope you enjoy all the extra perks. And thank you to everyone that dropped us a 5-star review. Remember, that helps with the visibility of the show. Lets a friend know, you know, or a casual know about the boxing show and the platform that we have here so that you can, you know, voice your opinion on these fights. Let's get out to Brandon in North Carolina. Talk to me.
What up, B?
What's going on? What's going on, fella?
Hey, bro. Hey, man. Tell me, did you hear anything about that WCF cruiserweight fight that happened this weekend in North Carolina?
Yeah, it was trash, man.
Who won?
Some bum, some pie. Two pies fought each other.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to figure out who won. But thank you, though.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget about our bet either, Ness. But yo,
what they're
gonna do is Usyk beating Wilder. We just said it yesterday. You got a bad memory. Write that down, Mike.
I got half on it, homie.
What we betting for?
500.
A stat, man.
I got 500 on it. Shit, it's easy money.
All right, 100.
Man, I won't give a fuck if it was easy money. I just started gambling. He said a stat. You know what a stack is? That's $1,000.
That's 500 for you, though. I told you I got half for you, homie.
Bruh, you are dangerous.
100.
You betting like that, homie?
Bruh, Wilder versus Usyk, man.
No, but that's what I'm telling you. If you that confident, you need to be like Jason Litzau, the boxer. Take a second mortgage out. Like,
I ain't fucking doing that, nigga. I ain't even got a house, homie. What are you talking about?
Fuck, $1,000. That's a mortgage payment, motherfucker. Y'all crazy. Hell no. Count me out.
All right, 100.
Yeah, we could do 100. Hell yeah, we could do 100. We could do.
I'll make it 200, bro. Let me get half of the 100 or something. Damn.
You could get in, Mike.
I can send you an invite. I can send both of y'all an invite on FanDuel, and we can bet straight up on FanDuel.
Word?
I have an account.
Yeah, you show the fuck can.
Oh shit, yo, that's dope. Yo, you know what? I'm gonna call them. Because we talking about them way too much. They better give me some fucking money. Word is bomb. I'm serious. Yeah. Shit. Look, if my Patreon goal was at 100%, Mike, you be meeting me in Alabama. I wouldn't be questioning that long ass fucking ride, dog. I won't be.
I don't ask you shit, nigga. But don't no buses come right to Tuscaloosa though. They come to fucking Birmingham.
Oof. I mean, anyway, we'll do that on overtime. Maybe we'll have an overtime episode today. But go ahead, Brandon.
Yo, what you think about Usyk fighting Manuel Char once he gets this?
Man, why you want Usyk to fight a dude that just tested positive, bro?
Yeah, man, no dope fiends, bro. We don't do dope fiends around here.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
they say that his second test came back negative.
It wouldn't matter, bro. He did say that though. He did post that, so I guess it does matter. He did post that Vada said the second sample came back positive. I'm negative. You're right.
It's true.
I seen it, and I announced it on the show. We talked about it that he had it on his Instagram.
Does that clear him?
I mean, look, Vada never came out and
you know, baby won't get that belt.
I mean, if Vada came out and say, "Hey man, he dirty," then they should come out and say, "Hey, his second test came back clean," and hey, he's clear. They shouldn't just announce when somebody's dirty. Announce when they're clean too.
I mean,
yeah, they're working on that.
They are. Brandon, man, thank you for calling in, brother. We got a bet, though.
I'm gonna send you the invite for that.
Yeah. Do that. Let's get that shit locked in. Anybody could do that shit. But don't sign up to FanDuel. Let them holler at me. Because, you know, it's free for you to sign up. Might as well give TBV a kickback. Then Mike could be meeting me in fucking Alabama or halfway somewhere. But we're going to do that on overtime anyway. Word is bone. It's time to go. Mike, send a link, Mike. Send a link, B. Send a link. We up out of here with a linky. Yo, look at Rob. Dipped off on a low. Sheesh.
That's Robbie Hearn, baby.
I wonder will Robbie Hearn stay on a full show if like a UK fighter actually wins?
Maybe if Joshua wins, he'd probably be on this probably take a whole week off work.
Lift off for AJ.
90 seconds.
It'll be good.
But if when he loses though, he might not be back to TBV for a while.
Damn, yo, you know the sad part is that AJ ain't fighting until April. That's like a long time from now. Any other heavyweight fights other than Wilder on December, which is right around the corner?
You got White Chisora. You got Big Baby Miller, Danu.
True.
Ortiz is fighting on another card. Joseph Parker, I think, is fighting at the end of the year.
60 seconds.
What's in the beginning of the year, heavyweight wise?
We'll find out that Showtime thing, right? They're doing that Showtime lineup.
Another announcement?
Yeah, they're doing another announcement in like Southern California.
Well, oh, so someone pressed 1 with a block number here. Yo. Hello.
Yo.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Nick. I would like to see Usyk fight Povetkin.
Okay, that's a fight. Yeah.
They got about the same height. I think Usyk is a bit taller.
10 seconds.
To see how he can handle Povetkin, and if he can knock him out early, then how Joshua knock him out.
Very, very true. I mean, that's the same fight I recommended, brother. So, Nick, man, you caught us on the way out, brother, but thanks for getting it off your chest. I'm your host, Nesta Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Remember, this is a fan-driven show. You know, this is what we do because this is what we love. So you can help support this show by heading over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice and becoming a member on its lowest tier. But that support allows us to head on out to the field and bring you the best content we can. Also, other ways to support the show, heading on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/affiliate sponsors and bookmarking, saving that Amazon affiliate link, using that Amazon link, the same Amazon.com link that you would normally use, except a hyperlink attached to it, which tracks all the, whatever that Amazon needs to give TBV a kickback, which costs you absolutely nothing. All right. So if you spent, let's say, hypothetically $50, it costs you nothing. You just spent your $50 and somehow they hook up TBV for having you go through that link. If you never had Showtime, you could go over there and start a 7-day free trial with our Showtime link, and we get a kickback. If you're into audiobooks and you want to read on your runs and you don't just want to listen to podcasts, head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/affiliate sponsors and click on that Audible link, and we get a kickback. And you get 2 free months of Audible. Definitely numerous ways to support TBV. One of the best ways, obviously, is hitting the thumbs up button in all the videos, sharing them. It costs you absolutely nothing, but a share goes a long way. You can head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/store and use that coupon code that Mike's been telling you about, just for you, with the numerical number 4, and get your TBV swag. Have a TBV shirt when you meet me or Mike or Ron or anybody out in the field. Adam.
And big shout out to Mike Tyson and Shannon the Cannon Briggs for their medicinal marijuana and the recreational marijuana thing that they're doing. And real quick, Mike Tyson, TBV.
Whoa, thing that they're doing. Whoa.
I'm just saying, I was trying to get to like a point. Mike Tyson, TBV, man, we need our own strand, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you're listening, brother.
Sponsor Mike Tyson. Why don't you send us some of them pre-rolls and have us talking about your weed on air? Like, let's get this shit popping.
Not even that, baby. We need our own strain, baby. TBV, something, baby. Let us come down, you know what I'm saying? Sample some of this shit out, you know what I'm saying? And like go with a strain, you know what I'm saying? And then put your product on TBV. You feel me?
Is it supposed to make you chill, or is it supposed to make you hostile? Because I feel like TBV just be
we need something for like when I break my back or something like that. You feel me? I need something, Mike. I need something.
Yeah, I'm your host, Nesta Gibbs. Instagram, Twitter at NestGTO.
And my final thoughts is pretty much congratulations to Usyk. He's putting himself in the great Ukrainian names like Klitschko's, Vitaly, Vladimir. Lomachenko's on the rise. We have another Ukrainian fighter fighting Adonis Stevenson December 1st. So they're just adding their accomplishments to the list. Kid Kaplan was another great Ukrainian back in the day. So congratulations to him. Congratulations, Tony Bellew. Everyone, record-setting, breaking records, Soto Karas, yada, yada. But until then, on to the next show. You can find me at Fighter IQ Media on Twitter and Instagram.
Gross1911 on IG, Gross2312 on Twitter. Peace out.
Peace.